Good morning, Sassy fam. Welcome to Thursday check-in. I hope you're well. I hope you're fabulous. Today's check-in will be for Intimate Tarot. Yay! If you're new to the channel or you're new to Intimate Tarot readings and you want to know what it's about, what you can expect, whom it serves, the purpose, etc., description box. When in doubt, description box. I can tell you right now, if the idea of Intimate Tarot readings or sexual energy reads make you uncomfortable, right, it's just not your cup of tea, I completely understand. I would still encourage you to check out the description box. You might find that something in there speaks to you. That's all. Myself, personally, I operate from the philosophy of the more you know. All energy is real and valid, therefore worthy of looking at. And my subscribers, my regulars, they would tell you they're really not too dissimilar from the general love readings. They just have that thread of intimacy woven throughout. But that's it. In the general sense, like always, take what resonates, leave what does not, and reverse those energies as you see fit. More so with readings like Intimate Tarot, yours and theirs, right, as the energy exchange and interchange is real, rapid, and fluid. And do keep in mind these are general collective readings, not one-to-one private, which is to say, they may not resonate at all. And I know that's frustrating, but also normal. If that happens, check your other placements. You will find yourself in there somewhere. What are we thinking? The background. What are our thoughts? What are our feelings? Are we liking it? Are we loving it? Let me tell you, I actually initially started recording Intimate Tarot yesterday, and I was in a completely different outfit. It was all red with my gold waistband. It's an outfit I've worn many times, and I'm glad that I had to stop. My work outside of YouTube kept interfering, and I said, you know what, we're just going to stop right here. We're going to put a bookmarker in this particular chapter, and we will get back to it. And I'm glad, because it gave me the opportunity to take what I had recorded and run it through iMovie, which really tells me how something is going to land visually, is after it's been processed. Oh my gosh, does everything look so different, which let me tell you, goal achieved. So the original goal was to lighten up the background wall, and that happened incredibly. So once more, I'm not married to the paint, but that might still change. But the overall effect here has been lightened considerably. I have to tell you, in my red outfit, that some of you, your readings take place in that one, there's actual glare, and I didn't use any additional lighting. I just used my standard lighting, but some of the desktop lighting I have just to kind of light up the space here, don't need it. I mean, honestly, some glare is there, so there's that. I tried to counter it as best I could. But yeah, I say we have mission achieved here. We have created a lightened effect. And this is the overall idea I had back here with the canvas. Some of these pieces I already had in my home, and I decided to get a couple more to balance it out. And here we are. I have a fondness for eucalyptus, cacti, desert flower prints. So I said, let's run with that. So yeah, this is the overall effect. Let me know what you think. As you can see, we kept lotus flower. I know that that's a fan favorite. And then that, of course, I know probably doesn't vibe very well, but I don't care. We're keeping it. That's my portrait. A subscriber was so thoughtful as to make that for me years ago, and it's just so well done. It's a beautiful portrait, and they even titled it the Queen of Cups. So that's going to stay. No matter what else happens to the background, my portrait will always be there. Okay, what else? Intimate Tarot. Yes, here we are. I decided to go ahead and bump this reading up by about a week, and it's just kind of in a cheeky, light celebration of some good news that I have. And I think I mentioned it super briefly in the past couple check-ins. I have some good news, but it can wait. Long story short, I've been shortlisted. So for many of you are aware of my work outside of YouTube. I'm a writer. That aside, the articles, the column, that kind of thing, no complaints, going beautifully. It keeps me very busy, as I experienced yesterday. Some days are just like that, but again, no complaints. I'm living my dream. It's just part of the gig. But no, I've been shortlisted for some of my personal writings. I write poetry, short stories, and then also I'm working on a larger concept that is a book, and that's not going to be done anytime soon. Realistically, no. But I have gotten back to tinkering with poems and short stories, which I have neglected for years. I haven't submitted any pieces for years. I think the last time I had anything published was 22? No, 2020. 2020? Maybe 21? Yeah, I've had a couple pieces published, but it's been a while since I've been through the submission process, and that is a whole thing. It's a whole ordeal. You know, if you fancy yourself a writer, you have to get used to the submission process. And I don't know if you ever really get used to it, but it is something that you need to practice, because submitting your pieces is a practice in and of itself, never mind the writing. So I'm completely out of touch with standards. So I decided to get back into circulation. Much to my surprise, one of my pieces was accepted and shortlisted. So if it goes through, if it's published, it will be part of a larger book with a reputable publisher. So it's exciting. And being shortlisted is a big deal as part of what could be a very large project. So that's exciting. Okay. Anything else? Oh, nothing really of note. I decided to go ahead and stretch. Wanted to share this with you all. Arcanum, this is a pretty standard deck. I've used it for many, many years. It got to the point, though, where I had to actually replace it. So here it is. Many of you recognize it. This is one of those decks classically that when the cards, not just bent, but creased, it's done. It's done. So this deck had been done for a while. Decided to go ahead and replace it. Point is, you're going to hear some extra snap. Okay, that's the thing about these fresh decks, you know. They think they know everything. So they're snappy when you first get them, and you got to work with them and bend them and bend them and bend them, and you tell them who's boss. And they stop being so snappy. That deck stops being so fresh. Okay? Has a little less attitude, but they got to be worked in. You understand me? You got to work those decks in. You know, imagine if you're new to Intimate Tarot. It's a hell of an introduction. Once more, my name's Christina, and not only am I a little different and happy to be so, I'm something of an acquired taste. Yes, if your exes could give you a Yelp review, I can imagine what some of mine would look like. I'd be kind of proud, I think. All right, you guys, I will see you for the Sunday check-in. And I'm working out the next round of in-depths. It's kind of busy right now, as I think many of you can appreciate. It's a little busy right now, but trust me, the next in-depth round will be for Celtic Cross, so there will be full-sized readings, I promise you. And those typically run 40 to 50 minutes. But I promise you that's the next round of in-depths. I'm working on it. But I will absolutely see you for the Sunday check-in, and I will see you at your sign. Take care. Be well. Leo, what's up? And happy birthday. We're going to start by clarifying your Ace of Wands. And just get a feel for your present-day passions. Show me Leo. Okay. The Sun. Four of Wands. Oh, Nine of Cups. Don't you look wonderfully content? Sexually content. Let me be clear. And emotionally satisfied. You're like, this is me. This is so me. This so suits me. You look really satiated. Like you might have recently had your thirst quenched. You know, that kind of satiated. The Sun, Four of Wands, Nine of Cups. You look very satisfied. Look at you, you are glowing. This almost looks post-coital, I dare say. I mean, feel free to share, just keep it clean, or YouTube will pull your comment. But I think you know what I'm saying. The Sun, Four of Wands, Nine of Cups. We look very satisfied. Things are going quite well. You look happy. Like I said, borderline post-coital. Congratulations. The Sun, Four of Wands, Nine of Cups. Yes, you look very sexually satisfied. Sun's out for you. Huh? It was a happy birthday? No? Was it a happy birthday, Leo? Looks like it. The Four of Wands, some sort of relationship here, which once more is two people define it. So I don't know how you two defined it. Never mind labeled it. Could be marriage, could be steady partners. I don't know. I don't care. The point is that you know how you're building into it. And you're saying that you are personally satisfied very much. Nine of Cups. It is a little bit self-interest, but it's your sexual energy. So you would know if you've been satisfied. Yeah, you seem to be very pleased. Very pleased with what you got going on over here. You look so glowy. So warm. You're like, I know. You ever had that deeply satisfying bath? Shower? Yeah. Yeah, except it's your sexual energy. Nice. Well, now. Setting the benchmark for everybody I see. All the collectors. Now let's put down your base. I'm happy for you. That feels, and it looks really good. Nice. Very nice. Lovely. You look turned on, happy. But I like how you're telling me your sexual energy in this feels secure. It feels good. Okay. You like where it's taking you. You like how you're building into it. Sexual security is a real thing. All right. So I don't know if that's a new relationship or an old one, but you're saying it's satisfying. Very much so. All right. Let's put down your base. Knight of Swords, Ace of Swords, Ten of Cups. Ten of Swords, the Fool. That's completely different. You just flipped a switch. That's cold. Four of Swords, Five of Wands, Seven of Wands. You want to be completely disconnected from this. You're not attracted to it at all. So it's completely different than what I'm seeing over here. This is a different level of satisfaction. It is not this. This you've had to treat almost very coldly. Honestly, but coldly. Knight of Swords, Ace of Swords. You got really firm with someone whom you believe, from your point of view, needed that. Okay? You had what looked like a cold but honest delivery of no. With somebody recently. Okay? With somebody recently, you went, no. And here's why. Here are the facts. Boom, 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 boom. Okay? You were mentally alert, but not mentally stimulated. There's a big difference. Like I said, this is well thought out, focused, to the point, no contradictions, acting on your truth. It's completely different than what I'm seeing over here. This is a rosy glow, and it's gorgeous. Is this new? And it's feeling good. It's just starting to unfold. Perhaps it was the first time experience with someone new, and it's starting to build in that direction. I did say you are showing me sexual security, and it feels very satisfying. Was at a recently explored intimate level between you and someone, and you liked it? Because this is so different. It's so cut off. Like I said, the switch flipped. Ten of Cups. We are familiar with this person. We are. Perhaps we used to harmonize with them emotionally, sexually. Perhaps you two used to be part of each other's lives in a deeper or more significant way, because I see someone here took a risk knowing they probably shouldn't have done. Ten of Swords. So Ten of Swords and the Ten of Cups, not only is this deeply familiar, it's painful. So Ten of Swords, the Fool, someone whom you used to harmonize with, someone I dare say used to be comfortable with. I don't know what the context of your two's former relationship was, but you would. It's someone whom you harmonized with emotionally and sexually for years, I'm assuming. You used to have a place in each other's lives. You recognize that. It's not that you don't, you do, but it's not going back into that area again. Not from your point of view. Okay? Ten of Swords, the Fool. I feel like this is someone who should be comfortably part of your sexual past, your intimate past, but tried to reapproach you in the present timeline. Okay? Who knows? With the Fool there, that Ten of Swords, it could be that they had an overwhelming moment of pain at the past and decided to be the Fool and prompt something. See if they could interest you or get you to turn your head in that way. I don't know, perhaps in a moment to feel better about themselves, or because in some way they were rejecting the ending. I don't know. But it looks like it was seeking some sort of familiar comfort with you, emotional or sexual, or both. And you said no. That's not how it is anymore. I understand we are familiar with each other, but we don't cross those lines. You know? Yeah, I think someone had a moment. Someone had a moment with you. And you're just like, no, no, no. We don't have those moments anymore, you and I. Okay? It's kind of like I still care about you, but not like that. Mm-mm. 4 swords, 5 of wands, 7 of wands. It's interesting. 4 swords in intimate tarot is masturbation. Sing to one's own needs. You're saying you don't have that inclination towards them. You know that. You've worked through it. You've healed through it already. You've been there. You've done that. Okay. In fact, you find that it's unsettling to go back to sexual energies of the past, especially if you don't, if you're not attracted to them anymore, of the heart or of the loins, or mentally. But you're like, no, you don't go there. You don't allow yourself to go there, particularly your mind. It's like it's not a dialogue worth having, and it's not an intimate practice worth preserving in terms of even thinking about them on your own time, sexually or otherwise. You don't go there. You don't. Never mind in reality. Yeah, it makes you very uncomfortable. Okay. You don't like it. You don't like it at all. And you're kind of resentful that you have to fend off anything from them. It's kind of like you should know better. This is done, and it might seem familiar to you, and that's because it used to be, but it's not in the present anymore. So if something else has your sexual focus altogether, and it's very pleasant, it's warm, it's inviting, and I'm happy to see you thrive in it. You know, it looks to me like some of you just added that intimate layer in there. Perhaps for the first time, or you're just now getting acquainted with it or comfortable with it. And then, yeah, see, it looks really recent. Knight of Swords with the 8 of Wands. Some of you had to lay down the law not too long ago. I don't know how much of an ex it is, but I can see that is someone whom you used to be very familiar with. It's almost like you expected it from them. Perhaps they've done it before. They're hoping to win you back, even if it's for a moment in time, and it's just, you're like, no. No. You find the idea of them, even in solitude, even on your own space, in your own time with the 4 swords, you find that repulsive. No. Okay. Ace of Wands. Page of Pentacles. There's that communication. Okay. And if 5 of Swords tried to pop out, it was sabotaging. Yeah. I think it was a moment, though. They might have had a moment of weakness. Perhaps they saw you moving on and taking off in something else, and they just had that moment. They just had that moment, you know. 4 Swords, Page of Pentacles, 8 of Wands. You really thought about what it is you would say. You were at peace with it. Personally, you find conflict that it would even come up at all because your sexual energy is not flowing that direction anymore. But in terms of your delivery of your message, it was well thought out, articulated, and you were straight to the point. Okay? All right. Well done. Oh, boy. The Tower is disruptive. It was disruptive. But you see it as being a destructive thing. Okay? You see it as being destructive. So you did not allow any room for fantasy, false notions, false thinking. You wouldn't allow it. You cut it out. It's like, I will not participate in that. I will not humor that. No. No. And I'm not going to prop up anybody's ego either by even flirting with the idea of it. No. Absolutely not. Okay, I won't have any bullshit. I'm sticking to my truth. Like I said, it was harsh, but I see you rejecting it, and you had reason to do so. Okay. Well, I would like to focus a little bit more on that, but that's okay. I'm happy to see that for you. That either is or it isn't. And, you know, if that's a new, healthy, emotionally healthy, sexually healthy relationship for you that you find yourself very excited by, turned on by, enticed by, and feeling increasingly secure with, and good for you. That's wonderful. You know, like I said, happy birthday. It's a torch. It's a new form of Ace of Wands for some of you, obviously. I knew it. I knew it. Flag. Do not be tempted to lower your standards. Like, do not go back into the past. For some of you, this is a recent past person, but you have a long history with, and they're still having a hard time honoring the ending. Even if it was for a moment where they kind of talked themselves into doing this as the fool. That's fool negative, not fool positive. Full positive has a completely different vibe. This one's attached to a bunch of pain. It's kind of like, let me take a risk here real quick and see if I can turn things around or just feel better about myself and try to sexually prompt something with Leo and see if I can't get him back, even if it's for a night. And I'm sure that was the ego talking, self-sabotage, something like that. And for some of you, March is important. I don't know why. For some of you, this ended in March. That would still absolutely... that would absolutely be counted as a recent split. Absolutely. It was just last March, you know. And you're already waking up to something new. Perhaps they had a problem with that. It's your life. You got to live it. Okay? Where are we? Okay, let's throw down a couple more. I got you. I understand. And I'm glad that you reaffirmed your beliefs, your boundaries, and you did not allow for any delusions to take root. Oh, come on, Leo, just for tonight. Just for tonight. And it's like, You know what? No. But you were honest, though. You didn't ignore it. You actually addressed it. It's hopeless. Hopeless. Saying, falling apart. Okay, someone here's not doing well. They had a moment of weakness, didn't they? And they took a risk, and it was full negative. This is someone who prompted themselves into doing it. They told themselves to do it instead of listening to themselves. Maybe I should move on and accept what happened here. And then they also said, maybe no. It was an apology offered, forgiveness, and specifically the key word here is return, and I'm sorry. Okay. You know, I'm sorry, but you were prepared. You were prepared, and I think you handled this very well. Something about you inside knew to anticipate this might happen. Perhaps you didn't absolutely know, but I tell you what, you said you already had that talk between you and you. I will respond, and it frustrates me that I have to at all. That's ridiculous. I don't think about them that way. They need to start doing the same. Okay, but whatever. And you also, I will not allow any room for bullshit or play into a tower or false hope or false ideologies or whatever. I'm not going to do it. We're going to cut that bullshit out. Good job. We have one letter, D. One letter. And the medallions of Cancer, Scorpio, Taurus, to Cancer. Okay? So you might have any of these very strong placements in your chart. Could be connecting to for either this scenario or that scenario. And their seasons might be important to you. Leo, honey, I hope this helped you. Good job. Good job upholding your boundaries and maintaining your truths and not harboring other people's folly, even if it was a moment. And I get that. I do get that 5 minutes of weakness that they experienced or whatever it was. But still, you knew what to do. And as a result, gave them a good example, okay, that they can take with in some way. But this, congratulations, I'm very happy for you. It feels great. It looks great. Good on you. I hope this helped. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Sag, welcome to your Thursday check-in. We're going to start by clarifying your Ace of Wands and just get a feel for your present passions. Show me Sagittarius, please. Ten of Swords, the Magician, Nine of Cups. You know, I can see that things for you have ended in terms of your sexual energy. Ten of Swords, it hurts. It hurts. You've experienced pain before. You've experienced rejection before. Sexual rejection, emotional rejection, spiritual rejection, it's all here, okay? But nonetheless, I see you saying, you know what? I'm going to keep on. The Magician, Nine of Cups. I'm going to keep asking for myself. I'm not done. And you are asking. The Magician, Nine of Cups. You are asking for satisfaction. You are asking for something that's a little bit more emotionally and sexually enhancing. A little bit more of who you are expressed to you or given back to you. Okay. But yeah, that Ten of Swords is real. And, well, we all experience endings, yeah? We do. Some of them more painful than others. But it's like, nonetheless, that will not stop me. Sagittarius will move on. I would summon what is mine. It's like, this doesn't want me? Okay, I'll find what does want me and can return the energies to me in a way that I find satisfying, that I personally tune to. You're showing me hope for yourself. Hope for more. Emotional satisfaction as well as sexual satisfaction, to be clear. You know you desire those things, and you know you're worthy of them. Six of Swords, I understand that. Nine of Pentacles, I got you. The Hermit. In between these two, Five of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. Yep. Death, I got it. I got it. The Hierophant, I got it. Nine of Wands, I got it. This one's very specific. It's either yours or it's not yours, which is good because I really like... Okay. I know it's someone whom you've known a long time. I get that. I really like it when it's not so open-ended that people can't figure out if it's for them. This one's either yours or it's not. I see the ending here. And the Ten of Swords, it's hard to call that because the Ten of Swords is no absolute guarantee of an ending. It's just a lot of pain that people can learn to live with and tolerate up until the point of finally ending. So I don't know when your passion ended for this. I just know that it has. It was very painful. It was hard for you to acknowledge. It was hard to experience. Okay? But nonetheless, I still see you deploying the Magician, the Nine of Cups, manifesting from a place of self-interest, self-satisfaction, and kind of getting in tune with it's okay to want these things. It's okay to want to feed myself emotionally and sexually. It's okay to want something that's correct for me and to get rid of those things that are not correct for me. Because you're showing me something here that is very much not correct for you. Six of Swords, Nine of Pentacles. This is based on experience. As someone who's lived a certain life with the Nine of Pentacles, you are who you are. You're a proud individual. You know how to stand on your own 2 feet. You know how to make a life for yourself. And you're saying, this ain't it. I am on my own now. And I'm glad. Because being with you was like being alone. And you know you're supposed to be on your own. I'd rather be free and single than be in this, like I said. It's a very strong declaration, but it's like you harbored, though, a lot of pain and frustration and rejection in your sexual and emotional energies for I don't know how long. To the point where you understood it's not good for me. You're right. So you packed up your sense of self and said, I'm out of here. Okay. Over here, Five of Pentacles, Queen of Cups. Okay. They understand that the sexual energy has been negligent, off, not invested in, or not invested in consistently or correctly for I don't know how long. They acknowledge that. Five of Pentacles is disjointed like any investment. It's disjointed. We don't have a lot to show for our effort here. And so it can become like an abandoned project, yeah. So someone here, yeah, I understand the sexual energy was not built in too well or was possibly abandoned. Okay, they know this, they acknowledge it. They still say they have heart for you with the Queen of Cups, that they would still receive you from the heart. You two are showing me the Hermit. You're showing me a willingness to heal for yourself. they're showing me a willingness to heal in the context of your two's relationship. You've already pulled yourself aside and said, I know what I need to do. And I've healed myself to that based on experience. And knowing that this is deeply dissatisfying and knowing that this is not for me. It's like I've given up. I've given up. And I'm making it okay for me to give up. I'm coming to peace with that. I'm allowing that. And they're like, I'm still willing to try, but from the heart. That there's no guarantee that that will improve the sexual energies. There's something about this that has unraveled so far, it's like we can't undo the damage. Okay. Death, the Hierophant, the Nine of Wands, just so tired. I was so tired. It's like you don't have the strength, the energy anymore to transform this commitment. Okay? It's like I can't change how I feel and I'm tired of trying. Okay? I shouldn't have to force it. It's like it's kind of telling me, you're telling me it's like it kind of got to the point you don't even know what you're committing to anymore. And you're like, I thought I used to know what commitment was, but that has changed exponentially. It has changed a lot. I have changed, transformed. We have changed. I don't experience us the same like I used to. I don't experience myself the way I used to. And I don't think you can meet me anywhere near halfway. You are manifesting for you and solely for you. Okay? Knight of Wands, Page of Cups, Page of Pentacles. No matter how small, it's like I want to feel alive again. I want to invest in that. It's like it's not a lot, but it's something. It means something to me. And you've just started the process, honey. This is so tentative. It's so tentative. But yeah, you are absolutely investing, even in the smallest of ways. So it's not a lot. Just frankly feeling better about yourself. Having more positive energy available to you. Having more passion available to you. Having more flow, movement, freedom of movement available to you. It's not a lot, but it's a start. You're just starting to open up and ask for yourself again, aren't you? It is a solo, It is a solo activity. It's like you're getting reacquainted with it. That's all. The Lovers, Nine of Pentacles. As you go about your journey as a singular person, you won't be that way for long. No. So it was so modest, honey. What you're showing me is so modest. And I know you. I know what you're capable of as Sagittarius. This is what you're asking for is so modest. How you're starting out here is so modest. And there's a lot of... I know this represents many chapters in your life that you became so frustrated with, so downtrodden by, so exhausted by. That when you're starting over for yourself as a person, what you're asking for is quite simple. It's quite small. It's modest. It's not a lot at all given what you've been through. I agree with your use of the Hermit. I disagree with their use of the Hermit. I understand that they still love you. but there's no guarantee that anything would change. How long did you go through this before you allowed yourself to realize that? Anyway, I just want to let you know that you're not on your own for long. King of Wands and the Lovers. Something very powerful joins you in due time. Literally joins you in due time. It's almost halfway. Strong connection. That modest Knight of Wands. Here comes a full-on king. It's full possession of your passion. You haven't felt like this in a long time. Alive, fully awake. And someone joins you. Okay? I would love to know when. I can see you just started opening up. You just started opening up. I got you. Yeah, I had a feeling I was going to see that mule. Yeah, it's about as attractive as it sounds. Someone is extremely stubborn and unwilling to change. Like I said, they're willing to heal things with you at the emotional level. There's no guarantee that that would change, particularly with the physical energy. Mule is earth. I'm not saying you have to be connected to an earth sign. I'm saying it's refusing to change, or it has refused to change, and it shouldn't take an ultimatum. This is what pisses me off with people. It shouldn't take an ultimatum to change, and ultimatums go over like a lead balloon. They never work, and you have to ask yourself, if it gets to that point of an ultimatum, do you even want that? It shouldn't have to go that far. It shouldn't take endings. It shouldn't take death. It shouldn't take a 10 of swords. It shouldn't take a 6 of swords to be like, okay, this is over. This is really, it won't change. It never changes. It never changes. This is not my idea of commitment. You're right. Good commitment, healthy commitment changes with you. Okay? The values change as your person changes and you change. Okay? This is non-changing. Victory. Victory in some endeavor. V. Okay? Victory here. Yes. Fire. Strong emotion. Passionate love or hate. Victory. So this person doesn't want to change, or they never saw a problem with it. And that's the problem. You can't assume someone else's sexual energy is good with what you are experiencing. It's disrespectful. And you wanted more for yourself. Okay? Yeah, I just want to let you know you won't... I was hoping to see a timeline. But in due course, a lover joins you. Sorrow, I understand. Deep loss. Realizations, running. And someone runs from their sexual energy, or they don't want to deal with it. But realizations, and you realize this, and it's very painful. It's a topic someone here goes out of their way to avoid, insists all is well, and they emphasize just the feeling. And love is love. But it takes more than love to carry commitment, and it takes more than sexual energy to carry a commitment. A commitment carries a commitment. Okay? Not how tightly someone can be stubborn and refuse to change. That's not commitment. That's someone's insistent need to win when they're actually losing. Okay. Duh, and that. Okay. We have S, N, F, U. And then we have your arrow striking home. Oh, yes, in due course. You know what I always thought was interesting about the lovers in this deck? Once more, it's the Arcanum. It has the arrow striking home between these two. Yes. And we have the Captain's Wheel. That is the Wheel of Fortune coupled up with the World. Time moves forward always. And sometimes we have that impression that it moves backwards because doors close, doors open, and sometimes we repeat cycles. But time must move forward. This was going to close out, but in due course, a door will open. Okay? All right, Saggy honey, I do hope this helped you. As for the timeline, I wish I could see that. I've seen major reference points everywhere between Virgo season, which is right around the corner, to Scorpio season, which is a little further out, which is Taurus season, which is way further out. So I honestly don't know when this is completely closing out. In other words, completely done, finito. It looks like you have just started making the real moves to separate this fully, physically. But that will continue to experience the cleanup here, mentally and spiritually and so forth, for a while. The entry of this Lovers, though, I don't know. I wish I could see that. I don't know. But in due time, when it's meant to. I hope this helped you. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well. Aries, welcome to your Thursday check-in at 9 to 1. Some of you, your energy's picking up these days. Feeling a little bit more inclined. Feeling a little bit more passionate. Sure. We're going to start by clarifying your Ace of Wands and just get a feel for your present-day passions. Show me, Aries. Oh, like I said, we're working with a new Jack. They tend to be a little stiffer. What's up? What's going on? Show me, Aries. It's intimate tarot. So easy. It really is. All right, Ace of Wands. Queen of Cups. Oh, the Empress. 7 of Pentacles. You got something good. Going with somebody somewhere. It's pretty steady. Queen of Cups, the Empress. There's a lot of love here. Okay. A lot of mature emotional development and realistic development around the sexual energies and what they mean to you both in an empowered way, in a loving way, and in a stable way. Okay. Yeah. 7 of Pentacles. But it also is showing me comfort. This is established, comfortable, emotional, sexual, empowered energy, okay, that you share clearly with someone else. It feels safe. It feels really safe. It feels very secure. Okay. Like I said, it's developed. It's fine-tuned between you and this person. A lot of love there, a lot of respect. And once more, the Emperor and Empress are concerned with their equals in sexual energy, like anything else. Okay? So, somewhere between the love and that sense of empowerment, you two see a lot in each other. Very comfortable. It's very supportive. You two know each other quite well. And when you two do come together, it's from the heart. Okay? There's a lot of good love making in there. You know, I say fuck around energy all the time. It's pretty easy. It's one of the reasons why I read intimate tarot. I want people to know. You know, if that's all they're working with, that's all they're working with. But I know good love making when I see it. And that one's love making. Very intimate. Very emotionally intimate. Mm-hmm. It's not always the case. And you would know by now if that one's you or not, right? Very comfortable. 2 of Cups. The Knight of Pentacles. Mm-hmm. 4 of Pentacles. Yeah, I'm not surprised. The Hierophant and the King of Swords. Yeah. The Chariot. Temperance. Queen of Wands. Steady as she goes. I'm loving this. This is great. This is so well established. Don't get me wrong. You two are real people. You're going to have real moments. Sometimes when it's off, it's off. And when it's on, it's on. But to be clear, this one feels like this connection's been together since the dawn of time. You two are so comfortable with each other. But you share everything. You're very emotionally intimate. You're sexually intimate. You're mentally intimate. Like and spiritually. You two are just, you're all wrapped up. Nice and tight. Snug as a bug. Mm. But yeah, 2 of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, you know you're connected to someone whom you love and that you've been on that path for a long time and you love them from the heart. And in fact, for many of you, you'd like to take your time, okay, behind closed doors. You don't like to be rushed. You want to be able to feel the love while you are love making. It's not just about the physical contact. You see it as a bonding element. So it's beautiful, okay? It really speaks when someone shows me their sexuality as a bonding element. and not just something taken for granted. That's gorgeous. Four of Pentacles, clearly you two have a comfortable exchange with each other in terms of that sexual energy. Like I said, when it's off, it's off. There's that Seven of Pentacles, but it's realistically your two's sexual and emotional connection stretched out over time. Yeah, it's going to be a little Seven of Pentacles. It's going to be Four of Pentacles, but you two both hold on. You both contribute too. And like I said, when it's on, it's on. And when it's off, it's off. And that's okay. That's what you two have worked out together, and it suits you both. You're both comfortable with it. You're not running off to the bedroom like every 5 minutes, perhaps like you used to once upon a time. I understand. Okay? Bedroom, couch, kitchen, whatever. I'm sure you had those days, of course. But now it's a much more comfortable, loving sexual experience. Yeah, this is true partnership. I'm looking at true partnership. It gets slow. I understand. That's all right. That's life. Over here, the Hierophant, King of Swords. Man, someone here really appreciates mental stimulation, and I get that. I do. Prize intelligence and sexual energies as well. Because it's everybody's preference is different, Frankly, I can appreciate intelligent sexual energies. I know it doesn't seem like it's all that much until it is. King, Queen of Swords, they're completely underwritten all the time in the intimate experience. They're the ones who are most likely to be charming, funny, witty, engaging in intelligent conversation. This person clearly appreciates mental stimulation, and that's probably what you experience from them. Mental stimulation, and then also a lot of spiritual sexual devotion. So the Hierophant is here. Their mind towards you is always present. Their spiritual energy towards you, present. Their sexual energy towards you, always present. It has one direction, and it's you. Sounds wonderful. But yeah, they are very mentally stimulated by you. And as spiritual energy's there, it's like I'm devoted to this, to Aries. It gets the best of me, including my focus. So, the Chariot, Temperance, and the Queen of Wands. Like I said, when it's on, it's on. And when it's off, it's off. Sometimes it cools, but still, the two of you, you're showing me a sexual relationship that appreciates healing, bonding, patience, and a slow build. It always moves forward, though. It never stays still. It always moves forward, even if it's done so calmly. It never rests for too long. So like I said, you two really value lovemaking and security, knowing each other's touch, preferences, and frankly, just how you two make each other feel. Honestly, it's like you can't imagine giving this sexual energy to anyone else but this person, and they you. And it's like, it ain't going nowhere. You've both agreed to that your own way. This is going nowhere. Like, in terms of you and I, our connection. It will be together, apparently, always. So, that ain't bad. Look at you. You little hottie. Temperance, the Chariot. This person still turns you on. But I like how you personally perceive your sexual energy as something that is healing in nature, and that you appreciate the connection because it allows you two to heal and understand each other. It's a bonding element, like I said. But it always moves forward with the Chariot. It receives your two's best intensity. Well, this was so nice to see this for you. There's a lot of maternal energy in here. A lot of feminine. I see some sharp masculine, but a lot of feminine. A lot of emotional and sexual devotion here. Okay? Loyalty. It's beautiful. Two of Wands. King of Swords, Four of Pentacles. Yeah, look at that. There they are again. There's that King of Swords. Man, this person's a sharp cookie, eh? Could straight up be an air sign too. Like it could be air. The touch of Taurus, don't get me wrong, but man, that person's mental focus, they really value the mind, which means that's a part of them that gets stimulated. Okay. Absolutely, I get that. Again, intelligence is very attractive to some people. All right, Two of Wands, King of Swords, and the Four of Pentacles. Yeah. There's that Four of Pentacles again. It's like, this is mine. They have your... You're the best of your attention goes to them, but man, their focus on you is unreal. They're just so present. When you talk, they listen. They are completely present. They observe everything you say. They listen. God, they can't get enough of the conversations. They just can't get enough. They always look forward to more. They like to tell you everything, too. This is one of the few times I get to see the Four of Pentacles in a good position. This is why I hold on to this. This is why it's precious to me. I use this energy every day. I build into it every day. It's part of my life every day. Okay. Yeah, like I said, you have a whole way of life in there. So I can tell you it gets busy. Of course, for the areas I'm looking at, you know this. The 3D energy between you two is really real. Clearly, you're co-creators. So your actual real world takes up a lot of space and time. So I told you when it's off, it's off. You two aren't always going to be in the mood. But when you're on, you're on. And it is so much lovemaking. Right? When you two take each other to that space, it's only because you knew the other person could and no one else. Okay? But the world gets real and it gets demanding, you know? And there's a lot going on there to see, too. So you two may not get all the physical time that you want, but that doesn't matter. You have a whole life together, and it's beautiful. Oh, that was so nice. Yeah, I don't get to have a good report on the Seven of Pentacles too often, but this absolutely applied. It's not really about plateau or how fast the sexual energy moves. It's the quality that was put into it. Okay? So well done. So well built. It says a lot who we show emotional and sexual devotion to, and that's where you two are. Younger man. Dealings or relationship with a younger man. It could be that this person is younger than you, or perhaps they seem very young despite their years. You ever met somebody who has natural baby face? That could be this person as well. But younger man. You know, even if they are, like, say, oh, you're same age. Let's say there's not an age difference. They feel young connected to you. I don't know. But dealings or relationship with a younger man. Goodness me. Oh, now who else got this? This exact same combination. So it could just be a bad shuffle, I have to admit. Let's see. It was appropriate for Sag's reading. It doesn't feel quite so good for yours. But Mule, someone is extremely stubborn, unwilling to change, and be in victory. Actually, this is made with the ram's horn, so I could see where that would apply to you as an Aries. I'm not seeing stubbornness here, except in that refusal to let go. Sure, like this is mine. Mine. Four of Pentacles, they showed me that, and you contribute to it. But it could just be a bad shuffle. Okay, let's pull one more. And dark woman. Dealings or relationship with a woman with dark complexion or dark hair. Okay? All right. That was interesting. Yeah, they could have a stubborn personality, though. That devotion to you is really strong. And you to them. You can't imagine being on a pathway with anyone else. The possibilities. No. It's yeah. You see nothing but possibilities in each other. This world, this life that you two have, it's nothing but possibilities. It's the growth potential is unreal. It gets stressful, though. I see that. Yeah, tension. Sometimes there's arguments and stress. Despite the co-creation of a very strong world, it gets stressful, like I said. When it's on, and when it's off, it's off. That was clear. You two have a magnificent emotional and sexual bond, and realistic one, too. E, J, and the medallion of Capricorn. You might have some very strong Capricorn in chart. Could be connecting to, or their season might be important to you. Aries, I hope this helps you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Aquarius. What's up? We're going to start by clarifying your Ace of Wands. Just get a feel for your present-day passions. Show me Aquarius, please. so snappy. Let's try that one more time, shall we? There we go. The Sun. 6 of Swords. 4 of Swords. Whatever it is that you last experienced was not the promised land. It felt that way at the time. But you are moving on from that. Don't get me wrong. Not too long ago, it seems, your sexual energy, as you understood it, was happy, it was satisfied. Okay. You felt warmth. You did. You felt some sort of sexual satisfaction. Okay. Glow, too. And I know that you thought he was deeply satisfied, happy. And nevertheless, I see you moving on from it. 6 of Swords, 4 of Swords. It suggests that even temporarily, perhaps you have gone into a celibate state. Okay. It doesn't look like it's long-term, but it could be. So as it resonates. At 6 of Swords, 4 of Swords, that's going into the self. Healing, being quiet, reflective. But actively withdrawing your sexual energy from something that you said, yeah, you would call it warm, you would call it a happy experience. But clearly there was more to it than that. Okay? Like I said, we moved away from this. And 4 of Swords is quiet, it's reflective. And an intimate tarot also means masturbation. So it's a willingness to see to your own needs as you move away from that, Sun. Okay. Let's put down your base. Let's see what's going on. It might have been very satisfying, yes. Maybe even happy. But that doesn't mean it's what you needed. Perhaps it wasn't for you. In a deeper way. In a long-term way. What's going on? Page of Cups, 10 of Swords, the Star, you. The Moon, the 7 of Swords, I see. 9 of Swords, Justice, and the 5 of Cups, I see. Okay. It's kind of like I didn't have a choice, I see. You would have stayed here in that energy if you could have done. Obviously, like I said, you're showing me warmth of the sun. In some way you were made happy by the sexual experience with whomever this is, but ultimately confused and hurt by it. So yeah, it's kind of like saying whatever I felt sexually towards this, that's where the goodness, the happiness stopped and started. Everything else after that was confusing and a mystery, and I can't live my life like that. And I don't blame you. You were hurt deeply by this, just when it seems when you started to develop like tender feelings for this. Page of Cups, 10 of Swords, in some way it was shut down. Okay. It's almost like as soon as you started to get real feelings for this and try to express it, it shuts down, it goes silent, it goes rogue. It disappears. And I am so sorry. It hurts. It was hard for you to open up to this, but you did. And you were met with conflict, instant regret, pain, 10 of Swords. It stopped being warm and sunny then. To be clear, your power card is in the middle. This is what you two shared. You really thought this was your dream come true. I don't blame you. You felt the warmth of the sun with this person. Your sexual energy happily extended towards whoever that was, and you probably thought it was returned to you in some way. If similar, if not the exact same. But the connection itself, no, not at all. So did you desire more from this? Yeah. Did you also really feel that you found something special and unique for you? Yeah. And here's the thing, they very much desired you, but they took it to a weird place with the Moon and 7 of Swords. Someone has a great deal of avoidant tendencies. I'm not trying to label anybody. I'm not trying to diagnose. This is a lot of emotional sexual avoidance, anything that's too real. If it crosses the threshold of fantasy, they seem to disappear. At least in context with you, they did. And I know that's not flattering, but I don't want you to be flattered by it. I want you to continue to move on from this. Okay? They did enough in their connection to you for you to be taken with them in some way. That you honestly felt that there was so much more. And you saw that. You felt it. I think what they're showing me, though, interpretation of the star is a lot of fantasy towards you, not actual reality. You showed me this is my highest point of desire and my hopes. I see that in you. They're like Moon, Seven of Swords towards the star, so that hits very strong notes of fantasy. They liked the idea of you. They wanted the fantasy of you. They didn't want to live up to the reality of whatever this was. It was much easier to put their sexual energy towards you in context of fantasy than make it real or actually live up to the natural feeling that was there. Okay. But I got someone too enthralled, enchanted by, or just living for fantasy, La La Land. Okay. And it ties back to you. I don't know if they live life like this and they're always in a state of fantasy about what they could have, but they don't actually want to live up to. They actively avoid or step away from. Their real world, I have no idea what it looks like. I don't know, and neither do you. Not really. I don't think you do. This person seemed to be quite content to keep who they really were hidden. But I see them feeding a fantasy in their vision of you. But you presented some emotion, some sort of real emotion, and then after that it just seemed like it went to hell. But also it didn't go to hell, though. It gave you truth, and that allows you to separate from a false sun. That was a false form of happiness. It was a false sense of sexual warmth from this person. In some way, honey, I know it probably seems that this is when it all ended, or this is when it all went to shit. I promise you, this is when the truth was revealed. We had no intention of living up to the fantasy or what they really thought or felt about you. You will never know. Whatever this was never really approached with the authentic self or the realistic self. So technically, you really don't know what this person probably ever really thought or ever really felt, and they don't either. When you kind of live in a fantasy world with somebody, you really get to not own your true thoughts or feelings. So you're showing me the ownership of a genuine feeling, no matter how small, and you wished you hadn't. It hurt. It hurt. And then the fantasy stopped. Stopped being fun. Stopped being a play in their head they could live out, you know? Nine of Swords, Justice, Five of Wands. Will you ever receive justice for this? And by that, I mean make sense of it? Probably not. Can you yourself make peace with it? Abso-fucking-lutely. You don't need anyone's permission to make peace with anything over the subject of the past. You need your permission, however. You have to actively, consciously choose understanding the past as best you can and writing off the rest to give yourself some peace. Because you're showing me a great deal of conflict. How can I have felt this? How could I have felt the sun with this person and my highest hopes and desires towards this person? This isn't fair. This doesn't make sense. I'm stuck with this huge unpaid bill of mental and emotional and sexual conflict when it comes to this person. But I promise you, as difficult as this is to understand, you will make sense of it in your own way. And that's where you're going to find peace over it. You're going to find peace, and you're doing that right now. It may not look like it. You might have told yourself, I got to leave this behind. I just got to leave this behind. And that's one of the first things we can do for ourselves in order to make sense of something, is to make space with it first. And that's what you need. You need to get more and more space from this. And you will continue to make sense of it on your own time. But please know, your kind of confusion right here, the turbulence you experience at the mental and emotional and sexual level, it wasn't just you that created it. Okay. When someone avoids who they really are and therefore does not perceive the connection correctly, you will never fully understand how and why you connected to them, or what was the point of it, or why you even bothered. You got a lot of mixed reactions and thoughts and feelings in there. Yeah, of course, you're going to show me conflict over, this confuses me, I don't think I'll ever understand it. Of course. You never will fully understand it. They didn't understand it. Your version of them, what you thought you were experiencing versus who they turned out to be, don't make sense. That's correct. Ask someone who doesn't understand themselves to make sense of themselves. Do you think they can do it? No. So give yourself that peace, because it's true. Okay. No, honey, there's no sexual energy worth it in the world to be this confused, this conflicted, this splintered, with yourself or with someone else. I don't know how physical it got. That's what's weird to me. But I know you felt something, and it was a powerful something with the sun there. Perhaps you even felt it was happy just to be connected to them, because you could feel your sexual energy radiating warmth in their presence. But when I see them, they look cold, like they live in shadows. They're so afraid of the truth. And I think they saw you and the whole connection in one big fantasy land of emotion and sexual experience that they probably all lived up here, but not out here where you can see it and interact with it. You know, that's not good. That's not good. In other words, I don't want you to show me that much conflict for someone who really didn't know what the hell they were doing. And that's not an excuse. But what can you do with someone who doesn't know what they're doing? Give them a taste of their own reality. Sorry, this confusion and this bullshit is not for me. Thank you. I'm moving on. Okay. Your biggest mystery is how you probably felt yourself sexually inclined towards this person at all. It's like, I don't even know what the hell I was working with, what they gave you. And that was fantasy. And that's what you were working with. That's what you were responding to sexually, emotionally. So like I said, allow yourself to be at peace with this one. I know what happened. Your passion went in reverse on this one. You got exhausted by it. It was never satiated or satisfied. Or again, when you honestly, authentically felt warm to this, they started to go cold, didn't they? They started to withdraw. What they were experiencing was not matching the fantasy in their head, okay? Yeah, so of course, your fire was going to go out. Your intensity for them was going to run out. Okay, and then the Two of Cups. So this was initially in reverse. It's like saying, I cared about them. I know I did. I felt myself opening up in that way. I really did. And it's like, that's the moment, right? That's the moment you're like, I can't take that back, nor should you. It was honest. But it also forced you to realize or reckon what you were actually dealing with. Okay? Temperance, yeah, heal yourself. Continue to move on. Heal that sexual energy specifically. You will make sense of it later, and you will understand why you were attracted to this at all. Understanding, in this case, in this scenario, how fantasy was a big part of it. Okay? And that you played into it, you responded to it, you felt it in some way. It's very flattering when someone makes you the object of their fantasy, but you're still an object in someone else's playground. That means when they're done playing with you in their mind, they set you down until they're ready to come back to the playground. Do you get it? Okay? So give yourself that. Maybe that will help you move forward. Okay. You have a natural inclination to see your sexuality as a good thing, a warm thing, and that's wonderful. September. Many of you will have made progress in this and completely left it behind. Leave it alone or give yourself peace over this by September. Okay? I think that's when you will show me a little bit more rest. Ear. Good listener? You always tried to be a good listener, or you found that to be very attractive? I'm sure they were a good listener. They didn't have much else to say, because anything they say might have confirmed reality, right? Okay. Yeah, I'm sure he's a good listener. I strongly suspect that's what some of you said about this person. They were a good listener. I'm sure. Scissors. Yeah, disappointment in cutting this out. For some of you, it's specifically disappointment after an affair. That does not have to be. I'm saying scissors here as in cutting this out, clearly. November is here as well as September. Either of these months I'm saying is upcoming might be important for you. These I will not take because they came out in the upside down. Okay. Yeah, but cutting this out. For some of you, you are on the fence about leaving this behind, and you might cut it out by September and be more at peace with it by November. But as it resonates, or potentially resonates in future, I should say. Chemistry. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. Chemistry, however, the attraction, the spark, is not stable. Okay? Is not stable. It's not a stable element. It's a spark. It's not supposed to be. It's the initial attraction. I know. But that doesn't mean it stays, or that it's fed or kept alive appropriately, you know. But the attraction part was easy. I'm sure you thought you had good chemistry. I thought it was the same. I thought it was fair. Yeah. But you wanted it to be reality. Okay? I think they liked more the idea of you. Q, B, O, N, and then we have the arrow of Sag or Cupid's arrow. You might have that very strong placement in your chart. Could be connected to, or the season might be important. Aquarius, honey. I hope this helped you. And it was an important read today. You highlighted a key element that I wish I could show people more often is the fantasy thing. In which case we never really know what someone's true thoughts, feelings, or intentions are because they don't know. And it can leave us confused and bewildered about why it happened at all and why we personally were attracted to them. We learn that later, but you need more space. Okay? I hope this helped. Take care. Be well. Gemini, welcome to your Thursday check-in. We're going to start by clarifying your Ace of Wands. Just get a feel for your present-day passion. Ooh, what's up? All right. Let's try one more time, shall we? What is going on? King of Cups, Two of Wands, Temperance. Beautiful. But don't you look so relaxed in the heart and the sex too? Ace of Wands is still present, but just with Temperance. You're saying you know who you are from the heart, that you are someone who enjoys giving and receiving love. And that's who you are. And that's where you want to be. And you feel it. You're in tune with it now. Two of Wands and Temperance. Your sexual energy is very patient, very loving, and it appreciates the bonding process that it affords. And keeping all these elements in mind, I see you in a very relaxed way, opening your energy. And you're happy about it. You're glad for it. You're ready to. You want to. Ready to open up, give and receive love, and that includes in a very calm way, but deliberate way, including your sexual energy along for the ride, as long as it feels right. As long as it feels right and that you are connected to it from the heart, you're saying that's just who you are. Bit of a romantic, are we? No, that's good. It's one of the reasons why I read intimate tarot. One does not always guarantee the other. But I see that your sexual energy means something to you. You've given it a lot of thought, like a lot. Many of you, FYI, might be waking up after a state of celibacy, you know? But you look so soft and loving, okay? And just open. You look very sweet. Yeah, I put good money on that. I think I'm looking at a classic romantic there. You really want your sexual energy to mean something to you as well. You want it to be healing, loving, kind. warm. You want it returned to you as well. And I see you looking out upon the world. 6 of Swords, 2 of Wands, yeah. 5 of Cups, 2 of Cups, the Queen of Wands, The Lovers, that's you, darling, Page of Cups, and the Ace of Swords, yeah. I see where you're coming from, okay. I get it. You have been in the process of moving your sexual energy onwards for a while now. And it's been a minute for you. It's unfortunate. I'm not quite sure what happened here. By all rights, I see you formally attached to someone who said that they loved you, and that they have passion towards you. 2 of Cups, Queen of Wands. I don't know how deep that love was. I don't know how intense the passion was. But they're saying they felt it well enough towards you. But you're saying 5 of Cups, there's so much disappointment in the past. Yeah, it's what you let go of. And you can look back on it now. You see for yourself how far you have come. There's that 2 of Wands, not once but twice. You're very well aware of what you left behind in the past. I don't know why. Perhaps you're not so deeply bonded to them. I don't know. I see the regret here in 5 of Cups. I see the sadness. But at some point you made a choice, a conscious choice to leave it. Maybe it was love, but not the right kind of love. Maybe it was passion, but not the right kind of passion. Okay? That's all right. The Lovers, you. Page of Cups, Ace of Swords. You seem to know who you will open up to in time. Someone who is a lot like you. If not on the actual outside, then on the inside where it counts. You're equal. Someone who has an equally strong heart. Someone who is kind in love and in intimacy. Someone who loves with whole conviction. Someone who can demonstrate patience and healing. Like I said, someone like you. You seem to take this idea of the lover and being in love very seriously. You need to see yourself in it. This is a truth you have, and it's something you won't negotiate with or you're not prepared to, not anymore. The Lover's, Page of Cups, the Ace of Swords. You are not a lone figure for much longer. You seem to be so patient, like you're not in a rush. But what's interesting to me is that you understand what you left behind. You do. That was a choice. Just like you see yourself opening up today as a choice, which, again, correct, that's absolutely true. It was a choice to leave this behind. It was a choice to open up as you have today, and you seem to be bolder for it, more self-accepting, more loving of yourself and your needs. So I don't know what that was to, but it's something of the past that you say it no longer applies, okay? Or I don't want to continue to apply it to my life. I don't know how long ago that transition was, but you're at peace with it now. With the Lovers, Page of Cups, Ace of Swords, that's no dispute, not from you. You have a very strong indicator of Who should be at your side? Communication soon. Eight of Wands, Six of Cups. Okay. This is one I would love dearly to do an in-depth with. I hate mysteries. Oh, yeah, this is something you stopped taking a risk on. You did it too many times, I see. You were incompatible in some way, that's my only guess. But I'll tell you what, the Gemini I'm looking at, you gave it a darn good shot again and again to be compatible with you. And then you realized you stopped being full positive and that you started to be full negative. This is what full negative looks like in one of its many forms. I'm telling myself to keep trying, and I probably shouldn't. Every time I try to reapproach this connection or this person, I end up regretting it. Or the energy just keeps getting blocked and it's incompatible. I've approached this one too many times as the fool to make it work. And that's why you associate it as having to leave it behind. It's of the past. I don't know why you felt like in your fool's journey again and again, you felt denied syncing up with this person correctly or consistently. But that's how you see it. Ace of Swords, no clarity. Four of Pentacles, the High Priestess. You didn't understand why they wanted you to try or to hold on to them. You really didn't. You personally didn't get it, and they wouldn't make things any more clear to you. It looks like a very confusing, dissatisfying situation that you tried to work with again and again until you couldn't. Yeah, there was love there was passion there, but and I think that's why you kept trying over and over again to make it work, but you were met constantly with mixed results. And what do we say about mixed results? Mixed results mean no. So, like you, I want you to be ready for opening up that lovely, soft, gorgeous heart that you have. But your sexual energy is present, that you were excited for, that you were passionate for, but calm still. You want sex to be part of the experience of your heart space. You want them to be experienced at the same time, to grow together. Yes. You seem to know where it's taking you. I would love to know who this is. We need a little something. Okay. Again, you don't seem to be... you don't seem to be confused. Like, it's really like me. I want to know at this point, but you already seem to have a very strong indicator. We got the two knights here, the two fastest moving knights, and that's the feeling, and that's the plan to back it up. It's got the focus in there. Like I said, you won't be put off. You seem to know. You seem to know your direction. Fine. Don't tell me. Whatever. Well, so long as you know where you're going, that's what all that counts. But yeah, no, you're right. Intuitively, you felt this will always be confusing or dissatisfying. February. Many of you started to leave this behind last February, which was not too long ago. The fair man. Why are they emphasizing white? Why are they emphasizing white? The fair man. Dealings or relationship with a man with blonde, gray, or white hair. Do you have white hair? Gray? Blonde? They're emphasizing white. In February, great gust of wind. Did you have a lot of change for yourselves last February? Flag. Do not be tempted to lower your standards. You've gone back to the past or tried to make things work with this person time and again. You had reason to, until you stopped having reason to. You started listening to yourself. I understand you. So don't be tempted to lower your standards now. And that's exactly what November. Is that when? Do not be tempted to lower your standards, and that's more or less what this is. There's your standard right there. Your truth, your core truth. You want someone like you, and Humor me when? November? Scorpio, maybe? Looser translation there? Yeah. November, Sagittarius, maybe? Or just November? Oh, yeah, let me pull some of those as well. We have A, W, P, K, S, V, Y. All letters. Wow. Okay. Distance. Oh, you've grown apart. Okay. That might be the quickest way to summarize it. I hate generic summaries, but yeah, that separation, space, blockage. I see where you're perpetually blocked. It's like you were encouraged to try again and again with this person, and you did until you intuitively listened to yourself that there wasn't a point. Yes, in some way you recognize they love you, maybe care about you with the Two of Cups. Queen of Wands, sometimes they showed you that side of themselves, but it's like you two had grown so far apart. I don't know. But yeah, distance for some of you. All right, Gemini, honey, I hope this helped you. I like how you have direction. I like how you're open now. Your heart space is softer, a lot more relaxed. You seem to be better positioned to understand yourself, your needs, and what it is you're open to from a very good point of view. You really are showing me classic lover qualities, and that you love from the heart and you experience your sexual energy there too, and that you are one of those people, you're not impatient. You're very patient with your sexual energies. You're very patient with your feeling. And you will show exactitude for your next connection. Which, again, there doesn't seem to be much confusion about who that is and maybe even when. Gemini, I hope this helped you. I do, and congratulations for knowing yourself and seeing something for what it is. I hope this helped. Take care. Be well. Libra, what's up? We're going to start by clarifying your Ace of Wands and just get a feel for your present-day passion. Show me, Libra. Okay. Ace of Wands, Four of Swords, Ace of Wands. Okay. Your sexual energy is absolutely present, but it's currently in a state of rest. It won't be for much longer. You're showing me what looks like a deliberate pause while you think about something. Because you are turned on. There is a flame here. Ace of Wands is there twice. So I know you're feeling something. You are. You're feeling lit, but it's a very calm lit. It's like how to express myself. How to express my sexual energy. Where would my flame seek release, if you will? This Four of Swords is very calm. Four of Swords, also in Intimate Tarot, is the indication of masturbation. So you have no problem seeing to your own needs. But also, yes, you have an interest in taking your sexual energy outside of yourself and putting it out there with the Ace of Wands. Okay. It's in contemplation. Where should I put my flame? Where might it go? And it's deliberate. You're thinking about this deliberately, calmly. So that tells me then you're aware of your sexual energy. You understand it's part of you. You understand that it's organic to you, that it feels good to you. But with some reflection there at the Four of Swords, you are thinking about deploying it in some way. Eight of Wands is still wands, it's still fire. And it's your sexual energy going outside of you. Okay? Via communication. Oh, where will it go? Oh, what will you say? Don't get me wrong, it could be coming towards you, and you still have that feeling of, oh, how do I respond to this now? That also means whatever communication you received, if that's you, you stopped and thought about it real hard. So are you the sender or are you the recipient? Just the idea of communication, though, gets you excited. Right. Four of Wands. Four of Swords. It's been quiet. Very quiet with the High Priestess. The Hermit. The Ten of Wands. All right. Six of Cups. Seven of Cups. And the King of Swords. I just felt your eyes roll. Okay. I know I felt your eyes roll. As soon as I said Six of Cups, I felt it. I felt it. Yeah. Okay. It is what it is. So you're either still interested in this, and they are too, or you're not. Okay? I felt it. It's like, oh, really, the Six of Cups? Yeah, really, the Six of Cups. Okay? I don't know. I don't know why. It's not that it's necessarily a bad thing. I can tell that you two had a lot of time and space apart. So somebody here prompts the communication. It's like, hey, I know it's been a while. I just saw you on whatever, Facebook or something. Instagram, YouTube. It's something like that. Something here triggers the idea of your sexual energy. First, you take it to a calm place. The idea excites you. You acknowledge it. You're aware of it. And you please and satisfy yourself. But it's like, should it stop here, though? And then I see your communication go outwards. Once more, you could be the recipient, and still, it stands. But here it is. Four of Swords, Four of Wands. There it is. You appreciate your sexual energy. You associate it with relationship energy, at least when it comes to this person. It's the idea of, this feels familiar to me, my sexual energy towards this person. It feels familiar. So perhaps once upon a time you had a relationship, one where there was clearly sexual energy present, expressed, or bare minimum felt equal. Okay. Four of Wands. Four of Swords, this is the one we rest on. This is the one we reflect on privately with our sexual energy. It still pleases us to think of this person. It still pleases us to pleasure ourselves to this person, this energy. It's funny, you don't associate it with negativity, at least not alone, not privately. What you think about it in terms of your emotional reflection or your actual thoughts outside the sexual energy, I don't know. It's just you're very comfortable with it when it's just you, privately. You take it to a sort of sexual place, a sexual comfort. You seem to know how to please yourself to it, but without any hang-ups with emotional pain or mental conflict. You just seem to be very comfortable reflecting on it privately. It pleases you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be doing it. But it's internal. So that, again, that tells me once more you're familiar with your sexual energy. You're not shy about it, at least not when it comes to you, yourself. You're not in denial about it. You're not like in the moon with it. You're not with the Seven of Swords with it. You're like, oh, I know what I do. Yeah, my sexual energy is still connected to them, and it comforts me. It makes me feel a certain way. I embrace that. So you're showing me that you're not shy about it, at least, again, when it comes to you and your own internal dialogue. It's interesting. It's very interesting. You're very accepting of that side of yourself when it comes to this person. The High Priestess, again, quiet. Quiet. Okay, that's an internal sexual GPS, if you will. Your sexual energy clearly still points to them, but it's quiet. I see that. Thing is, theirs does too. Now, here's what's interesting about them. Ten of Wands, the Hermit. They've done some healing. Okay. And it looks like they have a huge sexual weight when it comes to you. Like a heaviness. A Ten of Wands. That could be that the weight of the sexual energy is such with this person that they think about it a great deal. All the tension, the frustration of the things expressed, not expressed, done, not done. But they've worked through that with the Hermit. That's good. I trust that kind of healing. Above all the healing cards in tarot, the Hermit's my favorite because it's based on real practical application of wisdom and experience. Okay. So whatever it is that they've been working through, they accept the weight of their sexual energy towards you as being frustrated, perhaps unexpressed in some way. Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands is tricky in intimate tarot. It's the weight that comes with this idea of act of first penetration. So it might be that this person never fully sexually exchanged with you. It's interesting. You seem to be so comfortable with the idea of it. But with them, they associate the heaviness of built-up tension. So even if you two had full relations, it's, from their point of view, it's kind of like there's so much I didn't do, or so much I wanted to do and couldn't, or There's the idea of the weight of the energy still. They had something they had to work through. Okay. And be at peace with it. And still quietly. So this is what you two share as the High Priestess. Their energy still kind of points back to you, but again, it's kind of in a quiet, calm acceptance. Okay. But it's something they had to work through, be at peace with. I still have this kind of sexual energy towards Libra, and I need to be okay with it. You know, it is what it is. It was what it was. 6 of Cups, 7 of Cups, and the King of Swords. Okay. So, there is clearly an emotional opening here and a willing participation on both sides. At some point, King of Swords, someone makes the active decision to step up, step forward, and I did see communication attached to you. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying you, it's your responsibility. I'm not saying anyone's at fault. I don't know why people do that. That's not what I'm seeing here as any sort of fault. Somebody opens up. You showed me Ace of Wands after serious contemplation. King of Swords. Okay? That is the clear direction one has in line with focus and thinking in regards to sexual energy. This is how I'm focusing it. This is how I'm choosing to act on it, communicate, think, you know, that kind of thing. 6 of Cups, 7 of Cups. Yeah. There it is. It's very considerate. It's very soft. It's tender. It's expressive. It's considerate. And you and this person, I don't know how far back your history goes. They've shown me they had a lot of work to do, and you're telling me how you're still comfortably in tune with the sexual energy and what it means to you, and how you still find yourself relating to it to this day. Okay? You two still kind of secretly, quietly, the High Priestess is quiet, quietly seek each other out. Your sexual energy still points at each other, with or without the 3D participation. But then somebody decides to move forward and open up, possibly here in August, yeah. I also saw November there. Oh, I jumped. All right, hold on. Let's go ahead and shuffle some of these out since I picked it up first. As I say, I really don't feel too inclined to get you advice because you're doing exactly what I've advised you to do anyway. Leg. Stepping into this experience. Yeah, stepping in it, but no, this physical characteristic, somebody has fantastic legs. Long legs, muscular legs, particularly the calf muscle, well-shaped feet or ankles. Somebody just got some sexy legs. Maybe nice long legs. Who knows? Let's do a couple more. Does somebody really admires someone else's legs? Okay. Marriage. Handshake. A meeting. Handshake. Marriage. It's interesting. Marriage. Goodness me, I don't know about all that. Because that seems like quite the leap. Just getting reacquainted again, excuse me. Shaking hands to marriage. That seems quite the leap. But it's a possibility. Can't say it isn't. That's quite the thing. Just getting reacquainted. Shaking hands again to marriage. Interesting. Let's get some advice, please. Maybe in time. All I know is that it starts with someone being so brave as to open up and take control of the conversation, dialogue prompted. It looks like it's been a while. How long, I couldn't say. But a while. King of Swords, there it is again. Knight of Pentacles and the 7 of Pentacles. There it is. It's interesting, the 7 and 7 is there. Slowly but surely deciding to move forward in this and cultivate that pathway once more. Take your time with it. It's interesting because there's the decision just in another way. There's the King of Swords, Seven of Cups, King of Swords, Seven of Pentacles. We have to have a focus, a willingness to open up to this emotionally, explore the feeling, explore the option, and that means, in this respect, clearly delving into something whom we have past experience with, but also continuing on that path, just slowly. It's a decision. It's an active decision. I have to agree. It is. But here we have the emotional building as well as the 3D building. King of Wands. There's the fire, the passion to join you in that space. It looks so incredibly straightforward. Huh. I would love to know the time frame on this. A little bit more indication of time would be fantastic. Peace. There's peace. There's peace. I think this person, I think it's them. They're having to come to peace on this one. The divine masculine, some of you are the divine masculine, could be connecting to. I feel like this person had to work very hard to find peace in the weight of their energies. Okay. I strongly suspect you both have Libra in your chart. What's going on? Anything else here? Okay. The mistakes. There was mistakes that were made, and misunderstandings. Someone played the victim. There was misunderstandings in the past. There's a sense of victim here attached to somebody. I was wrong, misunderstood. I don't know. But there you go. Like I said, those pasts, they contain a wealth of history. We have letters H, L, and one medallion, Gemini. You might have any of those. Well, you might have Gemini very strongly in your chart. It could be connected to. Whether season might be important to you. Libra, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Taurus, welcome to your Thursday check-in. We're going to start by clarifying your Ace of Wands and just get a feel for your present-day passion. Show me, Taurus, please. Page of Wands, Three of Wands, and the Knight of Cups. Okay. Take your time. Yeah. But something's happening here. Your sexual energy is getting pinged on the radar a little bit. You seem interested. It's like, hello, what's going on over here? So, Page of Wands, Three of Wands, Knight of Cups. You're like, hey. All right, I could be down with this. So, yeah, you're responding to something here. But take your time. Yeah, this didn't roll through right away. Okay. Whatever that is, it took time for you to notice it, to see it, to open up to it, to acknowledge it, to recognize it, particularly your sexual attraction to it. Started out so small, Page of Wands, like, eh. But with enough observation or exposure, you're like, okay, Knight of Cups. I like this. It's like you got comfortable with it. First, it kind of got your interest. It hit your radar, like I said, sexually. And then that started to convert into something a little softer, a little bit more romantic with the Knight of Cups. Oh, what's going on? Show me, Taurus. Six of Wands, Two of Wands. There it is again. Ace of Cups. Over here, Knight of Swords, Page of Pentacles. It's different. Three of Cups, Knight of Wands, and the Queen of Swords, but the energy still hits the same. It's just a different approach. Maybe that's why you were slow to recognize this, to see it in a certain light. It didn't roll in as obvious, did it? No. Yeah, the good ones never do. All right, Six of Wands, Two of Wands. Yeah, you're like, this is exciting. I like this. Yeah, you're alert. You're paying attention. Look at that. Your sexual energy's all perked up and paying attention. Like, you look really flirty. You look excited and flirty, and it's just, you're so bubbly. Everything about your sexual energy is just rising. It's just bubbles right there on the surface. You're so bubbly. You're so often, it's like, whatever, it's stupid. You're having those conversations that make you grin like a fucking idiot. You ever had those conversations where you look a little drunk, energetically drunk, but that's okay. It's 6 of Wands, it's 2 of Wands. It's playful, it's light. It's enjoying a sweet on a Tuesday afternoon, and you shouldn't, but you're doing it anyway. But it's kind of like that, but with someone else. And there it is. It's a conversation. But it's so funny. It hits you like it's unexpected. It's like, what? I just got you opening up. You don't normally respond to something like this or this type of energy or this type of person. It's just, so the fact that you're showing me a little bit of, this is a happy surprise, this is a happy discovery, you're reacting to this, you weren't expecting to, I kind of like that. This one is different. This one's different for you, right? If I were to talk to this Taurus, you would say that I'm surprised because that's just not my type. That's why I tell people you got to get outside your so-called types. Okay, I'm not saying boundaries or standards. I'm saying types. We got to break this idea of types. Okay, and then that's where we find someone who's actually different because they're not in our type, and that's where we tend to have a good response. Okay, is when we try out different personalities, people, that kind of thing. But yeah, you seem to be unexpectedly surprised by this. And you were giddy. You're borderline giddy. Now, you may not identify as a giddy Taurus, but what's happening on the inside for you is... yeah, there's some pride in there. It's like, I like being seen with this. I like talking to this person. It feels good. Feels good, okay? Just whatever. It feels good. You're so bubbly. Ace of Cups is between you two. No shit. Well, I'm happy to see that because you can't always tell. This is a normal reaction to new stimuli, but again, you warmed up to it. There's a little warm-up period here. It's like, really? Is this activating me? Activating me? Does this really have my interest in that way? Yeah. There's a little bit of a warm-up there, but there it is again. It's an Ace of Cups. It's arriving in love. It's not always the case with these things, especially when they're just starting and you're not sure what's going on. It's like, you're not my usual type. Good. That's what makes the difference. Okay. Ace of Cups. Yeah, it's being approached from the point of view of love. And that's wonderful. You may not have had that in mind when you started opening up to this, but that's the turn it's taking, is real authentic love. From your point of view, it's like, well, this might be good for a laugh, if nothing else. We'll see. But you can kind of feel yourself turning in that direction. And I tell you what, their energy is a little different. The approach is different. Knights of Swords, Page of Pentacles is so direct. So direct. Like, you cannot screw up that person's communication or their actions or their intents. And that in itself can be very sexy when someone's direct. Now, when I saw it with Leo, it was a completely different experience. Completely different circumstance. That was cold, shut down, getting to the point. This person's like, this is how I approach people. It's very honest. It's very direct. Focused. I tell you exactly what I'm going to do. These are my words, and I'm prepared to invest in my thoughts and my actions and make good on them. And something about that got your attention. I don't know, but they're so direct. They took the right approach with you, except you just weren't so sure about it at first. Perhaps you're not used to very direct people. That actually might be the case. You ever connected to somebody that it's just everything about it is so encrypted, you start to get exhausted by it? This person's very direct, right? There's something about that kind of turns you on. But yeah, no, their intent is clear. It's the Ace of Cups. Your reaction is, okay, I get it. I could be open to this. It's cool. I like it. 3 of Cups, Knight of Wands, Queen of Swords. We like this. You like this. I see you continuing to connect with this, and it feels good. So this is very early stages. Like, I got you on the cusp of an early stage connection. It starts out with a little bit of flirtation, some sexual attraction, but you don't know if you can... Yeah, basic attraction, not necessarily sexual attraction. But getting your attention. getting your attention. And with them being direct, it helps you see them differently and experience that directness. It's neat. It's 3 of Cups, Knight of Wands, Queen of Swords. This is great. We're going to continue to connect with this. It unfolds a little bit more. We start connecting with it a little more frequently. It feels good. So again, this is beginning stage stuff. Very appropriate, very healthy, normal. The flirtation here is normal. The emotional connectivity at this point is normal. If this is what I'm seeing for somebody who's been together for 5 years, this is a problem. But this is early entry, early stages. Okay? I like this. But here's the aim. So you know it's going somewhere. From their point of view, as well as you, and you're waking up to that. I'm not telling you what to do. This is what you will be experiencing if you're that Taurus. And I hope that you are. This is lovely. This is so light. It's nice to see this for you. I mean, it is very lovely and light. I like this a lot. But keep on keeping on. You know, if something starts to feel off, not correct, there you go. You don't owe it anything. You don't owe each other anything at this early of a stage. But I'm saying at Taurus, it's like you like what you're experiencing. It's like, I can get on board with this direct thing. Yeah. Yeah, you're responding to that. Let's get some advice, please. That one's very direct with their thoughts, aren't they? But it's not overwhelming. It's the Page of Pentacles. It's just the right investment. It's just the right level of starting investment via communication, actions, intents. And people forget that about Swords. People who tend to be a little bit more intellectual, okay, a little bit more thought-driven, is that they actually hold the most amount of charm because of the intellect. The basic skill use of observation and insights allows one to be quite charming, funny, humorous, observant, you know? So that's being reflected in their energy too, and you like that. Ace of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, 6 of Cups. What's that? What is that? What does it have to do with anything? I see. Okay. Prior to this, and your kind of unexpected journey here, which again I like, and you had to warm up to it, beautiful elements here. You had been on the fence about whether or not to make it work with somebody whom you have a tendency to try to make things work with. They are of the past, and you're saying they could still be in your present, and sometimes you are inclined to head in that direction. To continue to make things work, quote unquote, with someone whom once more you have a shared history with once more you have a shared experience with. 8 of Pentacles, there's a lot of work here in a past connection, but you're showing me confusion, should I? 8 of Swords. And then I see that for you a lot. 8 of Swords, we question things, but we don't have an immediate answer. It makes us uncomfortable, so we put it off, and it leads to procrastination and just more questions than answers and things like that. So there is someone whom you're very familiar with, and you went back and forth about whether or not you should continue to make things work with them, to take the journey with them again, to take the risk on them again, to show them that. Because a part of you is still attracted to them. It is. And that happens all the time, particularly with these 6 of Cups. Soul bonds maybe, but people who, someone who you've built realistically a lot of years into. So yeah, residual sexual attraction is very normal in that respect, but that doesn't mean that we should go back to it or continue to put ourselves into it. And that's something that prior to the interception of this energy, is the best I can explain it, you were thinking about, okay, maybe I should go back, circle back to that, put some more energy into that, because, you know, it's a lot of memories in there. There's a lot of history in there. And okay, I guess I'm still attracted to them. But it wasn't a finalized thought. And I'm glad it wasn't. I'm glad it wasn't. It's something here that you're familiar with and you've tried to make work already. You know? And if you still have inconsistent results about that connection, then that's probably how it's going to continue to be. In other words, you already know what to expect from that connection by now. So in some way, you were so close to choosing that old familiar path, and it is familiar. It's very familiar. Should I go back to that familiar path and put some more work into it? I've still got some energy for it. That's fine, except that doesn't mean it's the best use of your energy. Okay? It seems to me you know what the results of that are by now. I'm actually glad you allowed yourself to spend some energy on this area, which is clearly new. This connection that's clearly new. It seems like it might have more benefit to you. This, it seems like you know what you're going to get already. But you were that close, weren't you? You were that close. Maybe I should go back to a pathway that's familiar. I know that one. I worked with it for years. I put my life into it for years. Maybe I can make it work this time. You were that fucking close, weren't you? I'm so glad you took a chance on there. And I'm glad this is what your type looks like, by the way. Someone who's familiar. Someone that you've already put a lot of time, energy, and effort to, so they represent a certain amount of resources for you, right? That you put yourself, that you can see yourself in. That's the whole point of building into anything. You make it feel like home. Should I go back to that investment? That was your type, something that feels safe, secure, old, familiar. But that doesn't mean it was working. And here you took a chance on new, and you got those results. I'm so glad. I don't know what the clincher was on that. I don't know what the closing element was on that. But I'm just glad you did. Something about them being different. Oh, there you are. Ah. That's your birth month, of course, May. Well, predominantly your birth month. So Taurus runs, late April to late May. But yeah, for some of you. What about, well, I'm not quite sure. Something to do with May, of course. Other than your birth month, possibly, sure. No, this is just unfolding. But perhaps this person whom you used to know, that connection that's familiar to your old type, perhaps you parted ways with them last May. I don't know. And you've been thinking about whether or not you should go back to it since? The heart, love, deep affection, and caring. I know. I know. Yeah, but you have a heart too. Okay, remember that. It's precious. It's precious. You can choose your heart space as your love, absolutely. You can choose to go back to the past where your heart clearly was. Or you can choose new rose, romances in the air. You can choose new love and take a chance on that. That seems to be happening. Rose, romances in the air. So, where you invest your heart, choose wisely, yeah? This seems to... mind you, you're taking a chance. It's clearly just developing. You don't know how it's going to shape up in the future, but that's a good promise. Okay? Okay, you're the fair man. Some of you are the fair man. I feel like this is you, but it could be whom you're connecting to. Dealings or relationships with a man with blonde, gray, or white hair. The fair man. Yeah, it could be the new energy, but I just feel like that's you. It doesn't have to be, though. Oh, but yes. You have such a romantic side. Apple. See, it's apple with the snake. It's temptation, I think, to go back to the past. Some way there's still an invitation there. Most likely based on years of familiarity with that person. Okay. I think allowing your heart the new experience and the love that you deserve, perhaps. But again, once more, I can't tell you anything. But yeah, it seems you clearly had a choice. Okay? The type versus the not your type, the different. Okay? It's very direct, that energy. And I like the way it makes you feel. Intuition, yes, please do use your intuition. Listen to your heart song, telepathy, and the inner knowing. But yes, your intuitive self. Taurus is highly intuitive. It's just for one reason or another you don't typically get associated with the credit of it. I don't know why. But yeah. Oh, we had a couple to jump out there. B, U, H, We have the medallion of Gemini as well as Pisces. Keywords here being intelligent as well as intuitive. My favorite combination. The medallion's a side of Gemini and Pisces for which you might have some very strong placements in your chart. Could be connecting to, or the season might be important to you. That was some keywords right there. Intelligence and intuition. They should work together, okay? They are not mutually exclusive. They work side by side. So somewhere between what you know and what you feel is the truth of you. Follow that. Okay, and then we have the 4-leaf clover. Good luck. A little bit of luck. Yeah. Very nice. Taurus, honey, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Virgo, welcome to your Thursday check-in. Show me Virgo, please. We're going to start by clarifying your Ace of Wands and just get a feel for your present-day passions. Ooh, snappy. Snappy, snappy, snappy. What's going on? Show me Virgo, please. Four of Pentacles, Three of Wands. Oh, Ace of Swords. Oh, you're holding out for something. The truth. Strong truth in regards to your sexual energy. Okay. Four of Pentacles, Three of Wands. Holding out, if not stubbornly so. But you're saying, I have a point, though. It's swords. So you have conviction behind that. Okay. You have strong truth regarding your sexual energy about holding out. It's waiting, anticipation, about holding out. It's like, I will not give on this point. It's super important to me. Okay. So to be clear, you have sexual energy, but you have a lot of, or at least one core concept of regulation surrounding it. And it's like, it will not be compromised. Okay. What are you holding out for on principle? What is it? I don't know it's necessarily holding out on sex, but there's a hard truth that you're insisting must be in place for you. Okay. What are we doing? The Hermit, there you are. Temperance, double healing there. The Empress, okay. King of Wands. The High Priestess. Strength. The World. The Ten of Swords. You're holding your sexual energy out for someone. Oh, you just got my attention. Don't see that every day. Did I figure it out? There's plenty of evidence here to suggest so. Tarot evidence, not real evidence. Very specific. I can tell you this right now. It's either yours or it's not. There's no compromise. Okay? Just like your opening energy, no compromise. Yeah, from my point of view, there isn't either. Once more, I'm not telling you what to do, but I can tell you this. It's either yours or it's not. So take it resonates, and if it doesn't resonate, check out your other placements. But you're holding out your sexual energy. You're holding it out for someone specifically, and you're saying you won't allow it. You won't allow it out or outside of you until it reaches what you understand to be home. There's something here that's closing out. You're aware of it. You're very aware of it. And you're saying your sexual energy, anything that you have in there, is not going towards this. Not anymore. It's been closed out. And that you're going to conserve your sexual energy until you have not just anyone, the one. Apparently you know who that is. Or you have a damn strong idea of who it is. And it's like, until then I choose celibacy. So here I am seeing, typically I see celibacy in a very different layout, such as I see over here. Over here, it's like this is an active decision that you've made that your sexual energy should not be given out, participated in, extended outside of you for any reason other than one reason. And it's this one reason. So it's not celibacy forever. It's a choice you're making for now. It's like, I'm not going to waste my sexual energy. I'm not going to. No. No. And that's your core truth. That's your point. It's like, I want to experience it again. I will not allow anyone to experience my sexual energy again unless it's this person or criteria of person. Okay, the Hermit, you, at Temperance. Again, I'm healing. I'm healing. I'm quiet. My sexual energy is quiet. It's brewing. It's healing. Leave me alone. So, yeah, it's like you will not deviate. Okay? I see you calmly collecting your sexual energies, reflecting on it, finding truth in it, finding experience in it, finding wisdom in it, finding you in it. Okay? You getting comfortable with it again. You healing your sexual energy for yourself first and foremost, your comfort with it, what you know about yourself to be true in it. Okay. Other than that, I don't have too many characteristics, and the fact that when you withdraw, you withdraw. Okay? If you need to withhold, then you withhold. If you need to learn from it, then you learn from it. If you need to heal with it, you heal with it. And it's something you don't compromise about yourself. You know who you will share it with, and you know who you won't share it with. But you take it to a deep place. Many of you might consider your sexual energies sacred, or you're learning to see them that way. You don't just share them with anyone. Or you refuse to from this point forward. With one exception, you have an idea of who you will next share them with. And it's the Empress. Exclusive. Okay? Exclusive sexual empowerment, someone who is comfortable with their body and their sexuality. But again, exclusive. Because they know their worth. So you're saying, because I understand I'm learning my worth and healing myself towards that, that's the only other person I would share it with. It's someone who's like me, someone who understands sexual energy and what it's about, how it's sacred, that it's healing and restorative, and that it's a good thing, it's a healthy thing, but to be shared with very few, a selective few. And that when it's time to share that sexual energy, it's a beautiful thing, it's a strong thing, it's an empowering thing, and it should give more to who we are, not take away from who we are. So I don't know where it was going, but I can see that whatever your sexual energy used to be, you feel like it took away from you. Okay? In other words, you weren't sharing it with the right person or someone who completely devalued the experience. Because now you want the opposite of that, and you're healing yourself to that. So you're keeping it, collecting it, reevaluating your sexual energy, how you find yourself in it again, how you view yourself in it, and where you would like it to be next time or in future. And until it's the right next time, next person, you won't allow it out. That's a choice. It's almost like you've taken a holy vow. It's hard to articulate. It's not a forever vow. Right? And by that I mean, again, when it's the right person, you will release that vow. But until then, you've taken a vow to abstain, celibate. You want someone who is in touch with their passionate selves. They don't deny it. Again, they find it uplifting and that it's natural to them. Someone who appreciates passion and isn't afraid of it, is in tune with it, and again holds it to a higher standard or a higher regard. I have someone here, King of Wands, with the High Priestess. This is someone who listens to themselves sexually. They're not afraid of passion. They're not afraid of the word sex. They're not afraid of fire. They're not afraid of it. But again, they hold it to a higher standard. They listen to themselves. Okay? Someone who's very comfortable with it. They understand its purpose. They understand its limits. They understand its power. In connection to you, they perceive you this way as well. Someone who is worthy of sharing their sexual energy with, whom they also find empowering. They see these elements in you, that they would be exclusive with you, and that they themselves are looking for an exclusive partner who, again, holds the appropriate level of stock or value in sexuality. Okay? Down here, strength, the world, Ten of Swords, something here is closing out. Something here that you used to wrestle in your sexual energies with. It provoked you, but it also required you to be very disciplined. There's nothing wrong with disciplining one's sexual energy. I see it in many ways. We can take that natural energy we have and put it into the gym, okay, and build muscles. And some people hit the road and they run for miles. And for other people, they work for hours and hours and hours. And that's one of the ways we can discipline our natural energy. It's not just sex, but the fire that surrounds it. And so here we have strength, a lot of natural passion, sexual strength too, that was constantly disciplined, exercised, restrained, refrained, and then maybe experienced. But it was always difficult, it seems. That is coming to a close. The world and Ten of Swords, whatever that was extremely difficult to live with, to sexually express yourself with in a safe, consistent, or secure manner. That it was always a struggle or a fight to experience anything sexually positive or consistently without some sort of intensity around it surrounding the expression, the actual act itself. It was always a struggle or difficult. You often had to reroute your sexual energies into other things. That fight is over. Again, you're showing me the emphasis on someone who is embracing of passion, someone who is open to it, but exclusive, someone who is comfortable with their form, okay, and sees it as a healing thing, a positive thing, and doesn't see it as something that you should fight with. Okay? It's completely different. It's so different, and you're holding out for that. I can only see what's here, not what isn't, so I see someone here whom, by your own definition, seems to be worth holding out for. Once more, I'm not telling you to. This is what you've already decided. It's like your vow. If I was doing an in-depth reading for you today, I'd be like Virgo's vow. Because it is a kind of vow. It's almost knightly, as in the vows of a knight. It has a certain nobility attached to it, but from your point of view, it's just a stubborn thing you're holding out for. This is idealistic, maybe, but it's what's correct for me, because you don't ever want to be in a position of having to waste your natural sexual energy again, or have to fight with it, or about it, or around it, or for it. So yeah, I do see you internalizing all your sexual energies and resting on it. That's because in some way you understand you have every intent of making good on your vow one day. And you express yourself when the timing is right. Thing is, I can't quite tell where this person is with you. Have you already connected to them? Has it just started? You seem to have an idea of who it is. Have they arrived yet? Are you still in a space of celibacy? And it hasn't gone in that direction yet. Because whoever that is seems to be very comfortable with themselves. Knight of Cups, Two of Cups, and the Eight of Swords. Yeah. You were never sure if love was present down here, and whatever that is, it's being cycled out, and that's something we shouldn't have any confusion about. Okay. It's like if the sex with that, or whatever that was so difficult, was there even love there? Okay. You loved it. You did. But there are some things you were never clear on, particularly if the sexual energy is this difficult between us. Do you even love me? Temperance, Judgment, and the Three of Swords. So you've taken some really good time out to heal your broken heart. There it is again. Some of you might have some very strong Sagittarius in your chart. Among other things, there's a lot of power energy here today. But yes, some of you might have a lot of temperance attached to you. Patience, healing, judgment. It was a call. It was a lesson to heal your heart and your sexual energy. Yes, I understand all that. I want to know more about this. They have such a strong feeling towards you already. I respect your decisions. I do. I want you to do what's right for you. Four of Wands, Two of Wands, and the Four of Swords. It's anticipatory. You look out on the horizon to that relationship, and it pleases you. But it seems to be a little bit at a distance for now. Energetically, you choose it. You've already chosen it. But you're saying, I'm still healing, though. I'm still quiet at this time. But yes, I would choose it. Yes. But I need more time to heal. So you seem to have an idea of what that is, who that person might be. Yeah. There's space still between you and that connection, but you're aware of it. There's dialogue around it. There's anticipation that surrounds it. And there's some really good mutual feeling here between the two of you. But it's not fully experienced, appreciated just yet. You're still showing me, wait, I'm healing, wait, I'm healing, wait, I'm healing. Okay. You need more time, you need more patience. But you're looking out to whatever that is as a reference point for your future vow, I believe. Okay? Yeah, whatever that is must have been difficult to clear out. I would even say nasty. Okay. Kind of taking your vow the next time you have a sexual experience, it will be with the one. Hopefully, I got enough in there for you to, for it to help you today. You have very thoughtful sexual energies. You really do. And by that I mean you're considerate. You're very thoughtful. You would care very much about what your partner was experiencing from you. You'd be very thoughtful. Yeah. Don't lower your standards, okay? Flag and handshake. Don't lower your standards. Trying to come to terms with that. Don't lower your standards even while you're trying to make peace with that which you're cycling out. But don't lower your standards. Yeah, I'm sorry you're in a position that you had to question your feelings alongside the sexual energy. It was so difficult. But don't lower your standards even while you're trying to make peace with that cycle closing out. Don't lower your standards. Okay. Anything else in here, please? But yeah, I can see that you're very thoughtful. You would be a very thoughtful lover. You really would. Because you're a good listener. You're a good listener. That's excellent. And I agree, that's actually quite a sexy quality, is people can fucking listen. People are so concerned with talking. You ever notice that? People aren't really listening. They just hold their breath long enough until they feel like it's okay for them to talk. Yeah, some of you are very good listeners. You would care about the feedback you were getting in your sexual experiences, in the energies, and you'd be very thoughtful. I think you'd be a very deep lover. Yes, I do. You take your time. You don't rush things. Open heart, curse. Oh. Some of you feel like you were cursed with an open heart or a bleeding heart or a sensitive heart. I know it can feel like that. I know. I know. This was very hard for you to do. Some of you feel like you were cursed with this open heart thing. Oh. You know, empathy isn't a curse. I know it can feel like that. I hate feeling everything all the time, right? You might say it's too sensitive. Well, seems to me if we all had a little bit more empathy, we wouldn't feel the need to watch tarot. You know? Empathy and a lot of other things besides that. Influences, elusive influences. There's so many things that it's just elusive. You never fully understood the negative influence around the sexual energy and what's exiting. It always kind of remained elusive to you. There was never a clear point about what the problem was. It's just the end result was always there. So someone, whatever that is you're cycling out, it always remained elusive about what the real issue was. But the thing is, you shouldn't have to question the love. Okay, you might question the sexual energy from time to time. Okay? But you shouldn't have to question the love. And I don't care what the reasons are. There's always going to be reasons. The point is that they could never be addressed, never mind worked through. And no one can live like that. You know? You can't live on question marks and fears and insecurities. We have letters U, X. We have the medallion of Scorpio. You might have some very strong Scorpio in your chart. Could be connecting to either the ideal one, the one which kind of taking a vow for, or the one that we are cycling out with. I don't know. But again, might be connecting to, or the season might be important to you, which is upcoming. It's in a couple of months. And then we also have the medallion of a child. It might be that you have a child. It could be that children are involved. It could be that someone here is dependency, some sort of dependency. Yes, it could be false dependency, childlike behaviors, immaturity, yes. But then also it could be the vulnerability of a child too, the sensitivity thing. You just want to be loved, nurtured, and cared for. So it kind of depends on your interpretation of the situation. Virgo, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Capricorn, welcome to your Thursday check-in. We're going to start by clarifying your Ace of Wands and just get a feel for your present-day passions. Okay. Seven of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, and the Lovers. Okay, you like what's going on here, and I don't blame you. Seven of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, the Lovers. Like, I'm in a strong connection and I know it. However, you're also saying, I'm taking my time cultivating it. I don't want to rush this one. Okay. Okay. It's like, it's growing. And I see evidence of that. And yes, I'd like it to keep growing. But I'm not going to rush it. Ace of Swords, it's a truth that you have. And you're abiding by that truth. Okay, but the Lovers here, this is a very strong connection. So I see where your sexual self obviously is activated here. You are actually mentally stimulated by this as well, and you have a realistic prospect attached to it. Okay. 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 You like this? Let's put down your base. Yes, you are strongly attracted to it. You acknowledge it. You're mentally stimulated by it too, which is good. But it seems that this pathway is being carefully articulated, carefully grown, cultivated, if you will. Devil, that's you. The Fool, I got you. Ace of Wands, yeah. 10 of Pentacles, yeah. 9 of Cups, okay. 6 of Swords, and what's that? 8 of Pentacles. Oh, 2 of Swords. Oh. Okay. You're like, this one's on me. Oh, there you are, Capricorn. There's your power card with the Fool. Just like this, Christina, I don't know if you understand, but I had to open up to this. I had to. You did. According to you and your energy, you had to open up to this. You had to take a chance on it. You had to take a risk. And I know you. What you do is calculated risk. In other words, you have an idea that the odds are in your favor. So it's not like 100% risk. It's more like calculated risk. Yeah, no, it's a Fool. There you are, darling. Yeah. You personally, the Devil and Intimate Tarot. Very strong sexual pull to this, to the point that perhaps you might have felt uncomfortable. Like, what is this strong pull? And you might even feel or continue to feel possessive of it. This is mine. I have to go towards this. I would be a fool not to go towards this. Look, I have strong feelings for this and I take it to a deep place. Okay? I'm a force to be reckoned with. I see that. Ace of Wands. That's interesting. The energy between you two, largely based on communication, that might explain straight away why I'm saying careful development. That was a truth for you, Ace of Swords. Careful cultivation. This thing's going to have to be grown ever so carefully. Okay. But you're like, I had to open up, though. Capricorn's got to be Capricorn. I got to be me. So you two rely heavily on communication right now for your sexual exchange. 8 of Wands is still fire. You understand? And that's, so it's a good thing that I said you find this connection mentally stimulating. I can see why. When you're relying heavily on communication skills, I should hope that you find it mentally stimulating. Yes. But that's good. That's good. You've got a lot to say. They got a lot to say. Both of you have interesting things to say. You have interesting things to share. Your energy is real interesting. So I'd be very curious to see how you get your conversation skills on. I bet you got quite the silver tongue, among other things. But yeah, Eight of Wands. It's good. They're comfortable too, so they're showing me stability. 10 of Pentacles, 9 of Cups. That tells me they're rooted. Wherever they are rooted. And they have a whole way of life attached to them, but they're still coming up as an individual, as a singular person, 9 of Cups. So this is someone who's very comfortable speaking for their own interests, needs, wants, and desires. Emotionally expressive. This is who I am. This is what I feel. And that in that is their sexual energy as well. But it's rooted. It's stable. 10 of Pentacles. It's kind of like saying, I'm not going anywhere. This is where I'm at. You're like, I know. So it looks like your spirit, your energy opened up to them. Okay? It's like you're... Let me make this clear. That is pursual. That is pursual. It's like, what was I supposed to do? I had to pursue. Like I said, I'd be a fool not to. So I do believe it was you that actively pursued this, and you kind of knew what it was going to entail. Careful growth, okay? Steadiness of it. It's like, but I was so compelled towards this, Christina. Yeah. As we talked about, and I don't blame you. This person has a lot of attractive characteristics attached to them, such as stability, growth, resources, network, community, but they are rooted to the spot. But also... what's very attractive when someone knows themselves. Absolutely, I completely agree with you. They can say, this is what I like, this is what I'm into, this is what gets me going, this is what gets me off, that kind of thing. So that's the 9 of Cups and Intimate Tarot. But again, stable. Now, here's what's interesting. I don't see this as a negative, I see this as a choice. And it is a choice. Tarot is the proof of choice, not the absence of it. Six of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, Two of Swords. Eventually, we are uncertain about whether or not we have to leave our own Eight of Pentacles behind. Okay. I see that they are attached to theirs, rooted. In other words, they can't just leave or join you. All right? You know that. And that was part of the risk of opening up to this, is that distance is an issue. Or even if it's not distance so much, is that they're not in a position where they can just leave. Okay? They have a whole world in there. Now, you have your own world in life, too. And you're going to be asking yourself reasonably in future, do I leave this behind? It's something that you need to question, Two of Swords. Do I leave my job, my position, my roles, or my own community? Okay? That's a question that needs to be worked through later, and that obviously isn't just your choice. It needs to be discussed. Since you two rely heavily on communication, that should be a natural topic point. Okay? Even if it's temporarily, sometimes the Six of Swords is a temporary leave. In other words, we can come back. But yeah, that's a question to look at later with the Two of Swords. Naturally, you're going to have questions around this. Eight of Pentacles. But remember, it's like you're like, I had to pursue, so I want you to keep those communication skills on point between you and this person, because a lot of the pre-development here that I'm seeing is riding on your two's ability to communicate effectively. Yeah, but other than that, honestly, I can see that you're a very intense lover. Very. You have a certain... something tells me that behind closed doors, just a fever sort of overtakes your sexual experiences, your lovemaking, you know. You might not even know who you are in the grips of things, in the throes of passion, if you will. I mean, like, that's how intensely you can feel your sexual energy sometimes. You can feel very overwhelming. You can get completely lost to the experience. Check out. Some of you might even say, I wonder if I was an absolute animal later. You know, you can get so lost to it. Some of you. Yes, this is part of intimate tarot. I can get these things. It's either yours or it's not. You can either identify with that or you can't. But there's something about this that is so instinctual to you, you had to open up towards it. I'm not saying you have to. I'm saying the Capricorn I'm looking at you already did. There will be questions to answer later around that decision, though. But yeah, communication. I bet you are the silver-tongued devil. And it's a good thing you're saying, oh, they're up for the task, though. They are mentally stimulating. Good. That's wonderful. But it's no wonder there's a slow growth here, but it's by choice. I'm saying the acknowledgement of choice. This is not passive acceptance, right? You chose to pursue this. They chose to respond. You two have been choosing to connect and communicate since. But you're saying it's worth it to you. You're saying it was a fool of you if you hadn't done anything at all, if you hadn't tried. And I get that. I respect that. Yeah, but there will be a time in future where you're going to have to think about logistics here. Six of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, the Two of Swords, and that's when the reality of it is going to hit home. And if there's anyone who can appreciate reality, it's you. About choices that need to be made, about work and relocation, because I can tell you right now, that's in place for that person. Like I said, they're rooted. All right. I'm not saying that you're the one that has to disconnect your roots, but you knew this would be a point, okay? You knew this would be a point of discussion. You got to know if it's worth it, honey, okay? You got to know that it's worth it. At Ten of Pentacles, there it is again. Eight of Wands, that's who you're talking to. That's a major point for you. Look, I don't blame your spirit for wanting to connect to this. You really felt compelled. You felt so compelled. Naturally, a big part of you responded to this person. But that was a point from the beginning, and you knew it. Ten of Pentacles, Eight of Wands, Four of Cups. It sucks. Like, this person's world is so established, they can't just leave it. They can't just visit. They can't just do whatever. They don't have that level of flexibility attached to them. It's communication only, and that's the part that sucks. We're not able to experience it in the real world, so we got to think about these things when we just got to open up to that person. Well, you knew they were at a distance, or you know that they don't have a lot of leisure time, something. So the communication is a hit and miss sometimes too, so think about that before we start making any big plans to move, eh? Okay. Or change jobs, guys. If we're talking about anything that has to do with monetary loss, I don't know. I don't know if that's a risk I'd be willing to take. Let me just quit everything I got going on to join someone who might love me or might commit to me. I don't know. I'm not that big of a risk taker. There's hard limits, especially if that was me and I know what I have. Why the hell would I just uproot from that? Okay. Anyway, there you are again. Oh, that's a major point for you. I know. I know. I know. I know. Honey, if you feel addicted to this person, you might have to start getting familiar with the idea of quitting that addiction. If it's not love and we can't find stability with this, we're going to have to rethink some of this. King of Pentacles. Temperance, you're working on it. Death. Okay. Looking at transformation, looking at healing. This thing needs patience and time, but giving it hard limits. I agree. Patience and time to see where this is going. Is love actually involved? Yes, I feel very strongly about it, but I also recognize that this has limits. I may not be able to claim it fully, especially where the 3D is concerned. So that's something to work with. I agree with you in time, but also give that time hard limits. Okay? Patience, yes, but up until a point. Temperance, yes, up until the point. When it comes to logistics and reality, this kind of thing can either be worked out or it can't. Okay? All right. Oh, okay. We have love here, and that's something that we need to work out. But a whole bunch of these flew out, so let's try that again. Fire, yes, I see that. September. Okay. For some of you, this has even yet to be. Oh my gosh, you know? Some of this is even yet to be September. This is where you might, I just have to talk to them. I just have to try. I just have to take my shot. For some of you, it starts in September. For some of you, we are talking about the older man, or you are the older man. Dealings or relationship with an older man. That's all it says. Okay? Obscurity. Abandoned. What's that? Secrets broken. Abandoned. We have fears here. We have fears of abandonment. Things being broken. There's obscurity around this. We don't want to have to abandon this. We don't know everything. We don't want to be heartbroken. Okay. Be careful there. Especially if we have any issues around abandonment. Some people will find themselves in connections over and over again that are always at a distance from them for one reason or another. There's always an excuse. And that kind of keeps us from actually developing any sort of security with somebody, because inside we're afraid of abandonment. So we always make sure that there's something in place that keeps us from being fully invested. Okay. Keep that in mind for yourself and possibly for them. Sometimes we've been so heartbroken, so heart-shattered, that even though we feel strongly compelled to open up, even though we feel strongly compelled to try with somebody, we will often set the odds not in our favor to make sure that we can never really fully commit, and therefore we can never fully be heartbroken or hurt again. So there's something to that. So again, perhaps don't make any too major decisions about your way of life and what you're willing to leave unless you have an idea that this means so much more than fears and anxieties and insecurities, and can I keep this? Okay? That's all. That's all I'm saying, honey. All right? Because, mind you, they're choosing to respond to someone who's clearly at a distance, and they themselves can't just leave. Okay? All right, we don't have any letters, so I'll have to do another pull. We have the Medallion of Taurus and Pisces. You might have these very strong placements in your chart, could be connecting to. And then we have the Wolf. Stunning. Stunning. I was trying to say clever. and cunning. Stealthy. Yes. Pursual. On the hunt. Crescent moon in reverse. Perhaps by the next new moon, which would be September. All right. We have the letters J, Y, U, and now also the medallions of Sagittarius as well as Scorpio. Once more, you might have these very strong placements in your chart in Virgo. Did I say Virgo? Virgo, Taurus, Sag, Scorpio. Okay. You might have these very strong placements in your chart. Could be connected to other seasons, might be important to you. Okay. Capricorn, honey, I hope this helped you. I do. It was interesting. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Scorpio. What's up? We're going to start by clarifying your Ace of Wands and just get a feel for your present passions. Okay. What's going on? Show me Scorpio, please. Okay. The Emperor. Nine of Pentacles. Knight of Cups. Okay. I was going to say, I know I'm hearing some overhead thunder right now. That would be unexpected storm today. It's interesting how that was lining up. Okay, the Emperor, Nine of Pentacles, Knight of Cups. You're like, I've got news. I am officially open for business. Oh, are you? And powerfully so. You're so commanding of thyself. The Emperor, Nine of Pentacles, you're saying, I am a strong, independent, proud Scorpio. It's like there's nothing I can't do if I just put my mind to it. It's like you have a lot of experience attached to you in terms of your own sense of security, well-being, how you've built things for yourself, and you're very much used to being on your own. Nine of Pentacles, the Emperor, it doesn't bother you, it doesn't faze you, it doesn't upset you. That's the Scorpio I'm looking at. It's very direct, it's very straightforward. You're kind of showing me I'm used to having things my way. So, thank you for being honest. I appreciate that. It was very direct. The Emperor, the Knight of Pentacles, yeah. But you're also saying I'm very much in command of my sexual energy. Like I'm very familiar with it. I know what it can do for me. Okay? And you're like, I'm also interested in my equal. You know? So the Emperor and Empress in Intimate Tarot, they tend to aim for exclusivity. They don't just hand out their energy to anybody because that would be disempowering, right? So they're interested in their equals, not their lessers. And you're saying, I'm used to being on my own. That's not an issue for me. But I am open. I feel good about it. Knight of Cups. You're showing me emotional expression. Okay. You're feeling the stirrings of getting out there, opening up the heart space, expressing yourself, and that includes your sexual energy too, which once more you have a powerful grip on. It's like nobody can take my sexual energy. I choose when and where and how and who to give it to. Thank you. Yeah, no, you're very selective. Very. Some might even call you picky. Stubborn. Insistent. Bit of a hard ass. Any of that sound familiar? Okay, let's put down your base. You're like, I know who I am. You can't offend me. You're right, I can't. Yes, you know who you are. I'll tell you that. The Emperor, Nine of Pentacles, yeah, very strong sexual energy. And you're saying, yes, I know. I've made it work for me for years. It has worked for you for years. You've used it quite well for yourself. Okay, but the Knight of Cups, there's that little admission I'm looking for. Yes, I could be open to certain experiences. Yes. But you're speaking the language of love here. So you can show me that you're a big badass all you want. Somewhere in there's a poet. Okay? With the Knight of Cups. Poor Knight. The only one that's not taken seriously because he's a poetry guy, right? Poor gal. All right, what's up? Ace of Swords, the Hermit. I believe you. The High Priestess. Sorry. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. Six of Cups, King of Cups. Ew. Queen of Pentacles. Yeah. All right. The World and the Ace of Cups. You did a reset, so I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised. But goodness me, how long has it been? It's like, that's nobody's business but mine. And you're right. It is nobody's business but yours. And who cares anyway? The point is that you're ready and you're consolidated. And frankly, that's all I give it about, because you're showing me so much structures around you, how you perceive yourself, what you've learned. It's a lot of power, energy, reflection, insight, calm, experience, truth seeking, a lot of truth seeking in there, wisdom, application. And it's like, I don't do anything unless I'm ready to do it. And I believe you. I believe you. I bet many people have described you as being stubborn and immovable. It's like, yeah, that's because I wasn't ready to move. I wasn't ready to open up. That's it. Like, you really do not negotiate yourself. You really don't. Not your sexual energy, not your thoughts, not your spirit, not your emotions. That's it. You're very self-claiming. This is me. This is who I am. This is what you can expect from me. And that's it. So you've been very clear about yourself. Ace of Swords, the Hermit. You have strong truths attached to your sexuality as you perceive it for yourself and what you've learned from it. You're saying nothing about you is random, that you learned from everything about you. And that you intend to use what you've learned to good use. You know, your sexual energy's here throughout the whole thing, but it also constitutes a whole way of life. Like, you have spent so much time investing in everything that you feel and know about yourself into your way of life and practicing it and practicing it. And I just, guys, there's just so much here. This is one of those things that I could put down a handful of cards on each thing I'm saying, and it would easily turn into 20, 30 minutes. There's just a lot of material here. So just for the Scorpio I'm looking at, you know yourself quite well. You're not intimidated by being alone. You are not afraid of being celibate. You are not concerning yourself with the judgment of anyone else, and you won't do anything that you're not prepared to do. You are a rock. You are an immovable object until you are ready to open up. So, like, you know yourself very well, and you don't argue with yourself about it. No guilt, no second guessing, no nothing. This is me. And I'm the judge of when I'm ready to open up. Like, you're not threatened by being alone. You're really not, which is good. I wish more people showed me that. Okay. But yeah, no, you take your sexual energies very seriously, like everything else. It's a matter of perspective and determination and focus, etc. That's enough. The High Priestess, you're tuning into somebody. You appreciate the intuitive process as well as the intelligent process. Good. Those two should ideally work together. As a Scorpio I'm looking at, you know this is once more based on wisdom. You've learned a lot from your sexual energy over the years. A lot. Like a lot. You've learned a lot from it. Okay? So you might have practiced celibacy. You have no problem being on your own. But you've learned a lot. And you are currently tuning in to somebody. The High Priestess is our sexual GPS, yes? We're listening to this. You're tuning into something, and it's a powerful something. Six of Cups, King of Cups, could be connecting to fellow Scorpio. That's a lot of water there. Ooh. Water, water everywhere. Okay, Six of Cups, King of Cups. You know what that means. We know this person. Now, again, Six of Cups, you don't have to have had an intimate relationship with this person of the past. It just suggests in some way you know them. You have a bond. Okay, you two have a bond. King of Cups. They're a big old feeler. Just like you. No, but they say they're very comfortable. That they are open to giving and receiving love. Particularly in this connection that they are familiar with you in some way. And you feel that in your own way. They feel that in their way. And that's how you two are attracting each other. So I don't know how long it's been since we've seen this person or connected to them, but it's been a while. It's been a while. Like a while. But it looks like you two are of finding a way back towards each other. I'm not sure you're aware of it yet, but once you connect to them, it will make sense. I'm talking about, you're that Scorpio that when you see this person again, you'll be like, ah. So that's where I was pointing to. Not much surprises you. Queen of Pentacles, the World, I see that. So there's something here that cycled out a long time ago. Perhaps you were comfortable with it once upon a time. Perhaps you devoted your sexual energies to it once upon a time. But it passed out or passed away some time ago. It cycled out some time ago. And what we have remaining is an opportunity for love, Ace of Cups. Okay. So I honestly don't know who that is to you. I don't think this is someone whom you had a whole way of life with or sexual devotion to. No. That's something else. But this does represent opportunity for new love with someone whom you're familiar with. I don't know how far back you two go, and I'm not necessarily convinced it was ever connected in that way of intimacy. Sexual, perhaps even emotional, but it's how it's being presented in present day, or rather soon enough, that you'll see it for yourself. Okay? I'm not telling you to go back to the past. What I'm saying is the past is showing up in the form of new. Okay? But like I said, you're that person. You're so unfazed. It's hard to take you by surprise, honestly. So I'm telling you, by the time you connect to this, you're going to have that moment, and this is what the High Priestess does. Ah! So, I was supposed to connect to you today. I see. That's what it feels like, doesn't it? It was you. It's you that I'm being led to. And they're going to have a similar experience. It's you. I was supposed to run into you today. Something like that. Okay. But again, Six of Cups, I honestly don't know. It's anyone whom you have a unique connection with, a kind of particular feeling with, that old soul energy feeling, you know. But it comes up as the opportunity for new love. Yes. Devil. What about it? What about that dickhead? Temperance. Ah, Ace of Swords. There's an Ace of Swords. It's one of your truths, and that's probably one of the reasons I'm guessing you stayed single as long as you did. Okay. You learned, painfully, but you learned where your sexual energy used to be. Used to be deeply or wrongfully tied to somebody. Something that cycled down a long time ago. That perhaps you got comfortable with, but that doesn't mean it was right for you. Okay? We had to heal that. That took time. And this is something that you would not rush. You wanted to learn, and you wanted to learn, and you wanted to learn, so you learned. You know, I bet a lot of people have tried to prompt you over the years. Scorpio, why don't you open up? Scorpio, why don't you take a chance? Scorpio, why don't you doing this, that, and the other? Because I don't fucking want to. And that's where you've been for I don't know how long. I don't fucking want to. You said you had a lot to learn, and you do it on your own time and in your own way. I agree. It's better that you learn this on your own time and in your own way than taking up time on someone else's timeline, trying to figure things out the hard way. Okay? So, that's part of your truth. I mean, between you listening to yourself and feeling what you feel, something about this It feels very correct. It doesn't feel gross. It doesn't feel bad. It says it loves you. It says it's open to you and open to your two's connection. The sexual energy's in there too. As in terms of, well, I have no doubt you're as independent in the bedroom as you are in real life. I don't think too much intimidates you sexually, to be honest with you. It really is. You're saying it is part of human nature, and I've learned from mine quite a bit. The dark man. Dealings or relationship with a man with dark complexion or hair. That's either you or them. I don't quite know. Dark complexion as in skin tone, and then, of course, dark hair. For some of you, this might be a quality that you possess or that they possess. I honestly don't know. I can't. And the older woman. Dealings or relationship with an older woman. Scorpio is not your dominant placement, is it? I think you're connecting to someone whose placement is predominantly Scorpio. I don't think you're Scorpio dominant, no. No. Older woman, younger woman. Two different people. There's one that's clearly being left behind or that is cycled out of or it's cycled out of some time ago. Older woman. And I'm not saying that this one's being dismissed. I'm saying this is the one we had to recover from. It suggests familiarity. Okay. Familiarity, but not exactly correct for us. And there's the younger woman. Dealings in a relationship with a younger woman, as it says. There's so much about yourself that you had to learn the hard way, but you had to do it on your own and in separation from someone whom we were very familiar with, perhaps had a whole way of life with, but again, that doesn't mean it was healthy. Something is off there, or was. But again, it's something that you had to separate from and learn from. Yeah, but there's a youthful energy present. Sorry. That's... I am sorry. I'm sorry you had to learn so much the hard way. And I'm sorry that you had to feel like you had to isolate yourself in order to do it. But I promise you it was the right thing to do. Because in time, when the time is right, the next connection might be of the past, but the love will feel strong and new. And it will be correct. The emotional energy will be correct. Above board. There's a lot of emotional loyalty in there. There's a strong, loyal heart there. And the sexuality's in there too. But you know who you are. Okay? You take what you've learned to a very deep place. Clinging. It's got that I won't let you go feeling. It kind of, there's a whiff of dependency or codependency, clinging. This one is having a hard time letting go, even holding on, obsessing, clinging. Someone who, I'm getting the other one with Queen of Pentacles there because they won't let go. I'm so embedded in this. This is what I know. This is the reality, and I'm clinging to the reality. It's like someone who refuses to change, or they can't see anything any other way. And that's, it speaks to that fear of change. I'm established in this. I know you are. You must be. Divine Masculine. Yes. Yes. It feels that way. Even if you're not the male, you're showing me masculine energy. This is my choice. I have the freedom to choose. Independence, free will. This is what's best for me. I have to do the right thing, even if it's a hard thing, and so on and so forth, etc. Okay. Still. Scorpio, this one's C. Two letters, C and F. We have the medallion of Virgo. Keyword here being practical. Yeah, Earth. I saw that here. You might have some very strong Earth in your chart, particularly Virgo. Could have been connecting to. Could be connecting to. And then the season might be important to you, which is right around the corner from where we are. And then we have the Rose of Venus. Some of you Scorpio might be your Venus placement, sure. But the love of your life, your Empress, something like this. Very loving, very romantic. That's all it is. It's love. Okay. Goodness me, this one has some flavors, doesn't it? I'm high. All I saw from you in terms of your sexual energy itself is that, I'll tell you what. In the bedroom, you're a very independent person. You're comfortable with the whole thing. You really are. It's like you know what you can do. You're very firm. You got a firm hand there. You feel your sexual energy very intently as the Emperor is commanding. And you say you know what works for you, and you want to give that to whomever you're connecting to. Like I said, you're willing to learn. For yourself and others. Okay, this one's an emotional lover. The more deeply they love somebody, the more their sexual energy shows towards that person. That's just how that works. Okay, I hope this helped you. Scorpio, honey. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Pisces, what's up? Okay, we're going to start by clarifying your Ace of Wands and just get a feel for your present-day passions. What Pisces am I getting today? Pisces or Spices? Spicy fish. Every now and again, I see you folks. What's going on for you? Two of Swords, I don't know. Six of Wands. Ace of Cups. You don't know. You're saying you're a little bit confused. You're confused. Is this love? Is this just sexual attraction? Because you're saying it could be a little bit of both. I understand. So Six of Wands and Ace of Cups, that is going to be a confusing combination. Because it starts out with a sense of confidence, a glow, flirtation. Look at who I'm with. There's that sense of see me, recognition. This is exciting. But it can be, largely ego-based flattery. So it's like it feels good, but is it love, though? Ace of Cups. So currently your sexual energy is drawing attention and energy from somewhere. But you want to know, is it love? It feels good, but that doesn't mean it's love. You're right. You're absolutely right. So I see you currently lit up for something. Well, It might be that this is too early to tell, right? Sure. Or it could be you got mixed results. Because if you've been connecting to someone long enough, it should have moved out of the flirtation Six of Wands stage and into something a little bit calmer, a little bit more secure. That love would indicate. Okay? Let's take a look at you. The Lovers, the Page of Swords, okay, the Sun, the Tower, and the Knight of Swords. Okay, okay. King of Wands, the Strength, and the Devil. I have to agree. I can see why you're confused. I would be too. I think anybody would be confused. The Lovers and the Page of Swords. Let's be clear. You're wanting a strong connection. But Page of Swords, you're not convinced this is it. Nor should you be. You made that clear. It's like it feels good on the surface. But is it love? Is it that strong connection? That's what you're open to. That's what you want. But you're looking at this Page of Swords and you're not so convinced. Now, don't get me wrong. When you two express yourselves sexually, it feels very warm. Feels very glowing. Feels very right. Feels very happy. I saw that a little bit with the Six of Wands. So you're confused then, the Tower with the Knight of Swords, because they're kind of giving you contradicting behaviors. Okay? When you two connect intimately, it feels good. It feels very good. But they have behaviors here that concern you. Sometimes they're explosive, unpredictable. Knight of Swords isn't a lot, but the Tower kind of is, right? So I'm saying here, bare minimum, contradicting behaviors. It feels good to connect to them sexually. But the inconsistency of action and or communication coming from this person gives you a lot of doubt, as it should. I don't like that. I don't like inconclusive behaviors and communications, never mind ones that are kind of dramatic or problematic or explosive or unpredictable. If it was love, it would start to feel calmer and more secure, not insecure and increasingly erratic. You understand? I don't think you need to question this too much more deeply, honey. I really don't. King of Wands, Strength, the Devil. I think that what I'm looking at here is someone who expresses themselves primarily through sexual energy, and it can come across as very intense. It can come across as possessive. It can come across as loving. But then outside of the bedroom or any other place where you two are going at it, they become erratic, unpredictable, and their emotional self isn't present. Honey, that must be some amazing, amazing sex. King of Wands, I'm seeing it. Lots of Leo here, a little bit of Capricorn. That's besides the point. Of course, Gemini, but gosh, that's a lot. Okay. That's a lot of sexual energy. When it comes to their sexual appetite, they haven't learned to control it or rein it in. In fact, it just seems to grow. It's never satiated. Okay, it's never satisfied. That's concerning. This is someone who has disciplined themselves. Like they have a lot of natural passion, but they discipline themselves. No big deal. It's fine. You know what? I like passionate people. They're what carry us forward in society. They don't keep us stuck. They carry us forward. I love passionate people. It shows in creativity and in the arts, and then somebody who just has a lot of energy and they can build and they can build and they can build and they can do things nonstop. It's amazing. Those people naturally exist and they contribute to our way of life every day. I don't want them to apologize for being naturally passionate or naturally energetic. No, but you do have to learn to discipline it like anything else. And here's the devil. I think this is someone who's full of passion, but they don't know how to discipline it, and it can come across so intense when it's just you two that it might feel like love. It's like, man, how could anyone else possibly be in this situation unless it was love? is so intense. It's so strongly felt. They make me feel warm. They make me feel alive. How can it not be love? I'll tell you why, because outside of that context, they don't seem to show you consistency. And that's concerning. Knight of Swords, it doesn't seem like a lot, but the Tower. Constantly contradicting something they said or that they were going to do. And that's a problem. There's a reason why you're like, damn, this feels good, but I'm confused. Is it love? Listen to that. If it was love, it would have calmed the hell down. It would make you feel secure, not insecure once more. I think you're looking for a lover, and maybe you found one in terms of the passion here, but nothing else. Mental, emotional, or spiritual. I think you're starting to see that for yourself. It's like I found a lover in terms of the sexual intensity. Yes. Yes. But it does not make me feel good. No, emotionally. Ultimately, what you will do, I don't know. It looks like you're just now growing into this knowledge for yourself. So I don't have any clear indicators of what you're going to do. Okay? You still need to grow into that knowledge. And I don't blame you for not having an immediate answer. I promise you, for the Pisces I'm looking at, when you connect to this person at the intimate level, it must feel like love. I bet it does. Passionate love. I would put good money on that. But honey, you got to look at this outside the sheets. Okay? Do they show up when they say they're going to show up? Are they doing what they say they're going to do? And when you are with them physically in reality, how are they reacting to you and their environment and to other people? Is it always explosive? Is there always some drama attached to them? Are they using love language with you that suggests consideration, care, support? Or is that just in the bedroom? I can see why you'd be confused, honey. And I can see why you have to grow into this insight, because you're going to be tempted, I mean real tempted to keep this one. But I don't think it can be kept. No, I don't think it wants to be kept. Not in that way. No. Okay, Ace of Pentacles. Two of Cups and the Four of Swords. I want you to rest on these very things we're talking about, particularly where that consistency and emotional care, love, and support is concerned. This is a quiet reflection that is for you, Four of Swords. That is private, quiet, individual. Reflect. Is this your new beginning in love? And be real with yourself. Something you need to grow into. So that's a natural graduation here. Page of Swords, Two of Swords, up into the Four. Okay. So heartbreak isn't involved yet. And you can prevent that. Ask yourself if this is the new beginning you're hoping for. Does it make you... This is security. This is what security in love looks like. Starter package, maybe. But the idea is that it's buildable sooner rather than later. It feels safe and secure sooner rather than later. Ask yourself if you have that with this. Or is it starting to look more unpredictable? Wild, intense sex, I grant you. But is it starting to look more unpredictable? This... Again, predictable, sooner rather than later. You can see it sooner rather than later. You don't have to question that too much. Nine of Wands. Starting to feel frustrated. Aggravated. It's not shaping up like that, is it? Okay? Okay. Running. Someone's always running, ghosting, disappearing. They gotta... I'll see you next week, and next week you don't hear from them, you don't see them, running. I don't think this person has any intent of being caught, not emotionally. I don't think they're open that way, no, I don't. I also think you're that Pisces, you're just starting to see that for yourself. Finality is in reverse. In other words, this isn't finalized yet. I know, you need to grow into it, and, you know... There's what I'm telling you, Tarot Lady, but Tarot Lady does not dictate your life. You need to think about these things for yourself. You get to declare if something's over and it's not quite over for you yet. You need to think about it yourself, okay? I promise you, if what I'm saying here is true, those kind of slightly avoidant behaviors, the disconnecting behaviors, the running behaviors, it might make sense at first, but it will eventually accumulate, okay? And become a thing, I believe, for this person, yes. December for some of you. This upcoming December in particular. Might be when you know. I don't quite know. But December for some of you. It might be last December is when you met this person. December, some of you will have made up your mind about marriage. In other words, commitment here in this respect, stability, like you will know. Or you're going to give it till December. Some of you might set a hard limit, a hard date. Or is it just fire and passion? Okay. Is it just fire and passion, or is it real commitment here? And I think many of you will know perhaps by December. Again, once more, you just started waking up to this, okay? Some of you will know sooner rather than later. It doesn't have to be held up on December. I'm just letting you know. That's what I see. All right. Also, December, that would be Sagittarius as well as Capricorn. Again, not exclusive to that. G, Y, and W. We have the medallions of Capricorn, speaking of which, and Leo, which I did see a great deal of. Both. Leo and Capricorn. Leo and Capricorn. Okay. That's coming across very strongly here. Just FYI. It either is or it isn't. All right, Pisces, honey. At the end of the day, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Cancer. What's up? We're going to start by clarifying your Ace of Wands. And just get a feel for your present day passions. Show me Cancer, please. King of Pentacles. Oh, the Tower. Oh, the Hierophant. Oh, my. Lions and tigers and bears. Oh, my. Oh. What you doing? It looks like you're doing some hardcore dismantling. Wrong kind of hardcore for this reading. That's not the hardcore we want to see. That's a different hardcore. King of Pentacles, Tower, the Hierophant. That's literally saying, I recognize this. I ought to know. I invested in it. I'm the King of Pentacles. Here's my stick of dynamite. Here's that structure. We're going to blow it up now. Now, what's interesting to me is that you are showing me ownership with the King of Pentacles. That's the one who tends to take responsibility for the structures that they've built into, i.e. investments, responsibility, accountability, etc. Okay, a whole way of life. So I know that you take your investments seriously, but you're also kind of telling me, I built it, I can dismantle it. True. That is true. That is part of the ownership package. That is part of the responsibility package. You bet. A lot of people forget about that part. And it's because they get so preoccupied with what they can hold on to, they don't ask themselves if they should. So, you have done more than ask. You are now at that point of having made a decision. So the Tower of the Hierophant is kind of like saying, this contract is null and void. I withdraw the contract. I withdraw the Hierophant. I withdraw the commitment. I withdraw. It is being dismantled. It is false. It is folly. It is bullshit. I'm bringing this house of cards down. So the thing is that you recognize you built or are partially responsible for having built that house of cards. In some way, you see this as a poor investment. It's the Tower, suggests it's false. The Hierophant, oh my. It's kind of a big deal. It's a false commitment. It was a false build. It was a bad build. Something like this. You're taking it very seriously. Very. Your sexual energy is in there too, in case you're wondering. It's something you used to invest all of yourself in. Time, energy, effort, resources. That includes your sexual experience, your energy, your emotionality, your spirituality. All that. Yeah. You're saying that's a bullshit job. I see that now. So I don't know about all that, but you are taking it very seriously. It's almost like you're showing me disbelief. I cannot believe how much I put into that. I cannot believe I committed myself to that. Something like that. Okay. I cannot believe I committed to that after all these years. Okay. That includes your sexual energy too. I mean, you could say it's like I gave you the best years of my life, my energy, etc. There's so much in there. The King of Pentacles wears that thing kind of heavily, you know. That's why they typically don't always back out of investments. Like, I put so much of myself into this, I got to keep it going. But for you, you're seeing the opposite side of things. What happens if I don't take responsibility for this? What happens if I don't dismantle this? What happens if I don't let this go? That would be the other side of it. Frankly, I'm surprised you didn't show me the Emperor, honestly. That's the kind of attitude I would expect from the Emperor. It's serious. But I think you're showing me the years, the investment. That was the intent. Okay. Okay. Two of Cups, the Magician. Okay, Temperance. 10 of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. Yeah. Okay, I got you. Page of Wands. 6 of Swords, Strength. Yeah, no, I see you continue to part ways from that, and that's okay. Gosh, not only are you bringing that down, you're like, okay. My next goal, please. Thank you. How long have you been bringing that down then? Dismantling it? Bit by bit, piece by piece, contract by contract, brick by brick. And by the way, the King of Pentacles backing it up with the Hierophant. Your loyalties, 2, gone. So the commitment loyalties, earthbound loyalties, all that, gone. Okay. And that's going to include your sexual loyalties, gone. Okay? Everything. That's what all that is. And that's a good thing too, because I see you actively opening up to something else. In fact, you're willing it from the universe, the Magician, 2 of Cups. You're showing me, I would like to open back up to love, something that's fair, something that's equal. Okay? Let's keep it simple, please. 2 of Cups. I would love to connect to someone who would love me. Let's start there. So you're not asking for a lot. You're really not. Okay? Just be aware that when you ask something from the universe, you tend to get a response eventually. It might be sooner, it might be later, but eventually you'll get a response. And you're getting one. Temperance. Good. You're attracting from that space of healing. And that includes your sexual energy once more. Patience. You're attracting from a space of patience, time, consolidation, compassion. It's a good, attractive quality, I promise you. It really is. It may not seem like it, but it is. It's a beautiful space to attract somebody from a space of empathy and compassion and patience and consideration. Basically, you're attracting everything you kind of wish was given to you. So you're doing the opposite of whatever it is you experienced in the past. That's not random. There's a reason why. You're telling me what you want now, which kind of tells me what you weren't getting. And that was a deeper appreciation for the basics of love, patience, a willingness to heal through our sexual energies and bonding principles. So basically, you know what to ask for now. You understand very clearly what you don't want. So now you get to understand what you do want. And that's the beauty of learning. And that's the beauty of healing. And that's the beauty of forgiveness. And I'm not saying you have to forgive that situation, but forgiving yourself. Okay? That's all in there. Compassion. You're attracting from a very beautiful place. Someone's responding. 10 of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, whoever that is incredibly stable, prosperous, well-connected, networked, resources, community. And they're a little bit of a hottie, too. So Queen of Wands, they got a little bit of a fiery side, a little bit of showy side. This could be someone who takes care of themselves or takes pride in their physical appearance, but they do seem to have a lot of natural energy. Why do I get the feeling that person's just a little bit younger than you? Just a little bit. You have such a space of mind, a maturity of presence, a willingness to do difficult shit. Maybe that just comes from years of experience. But I just get the feeling, don't get me wrong, 10 of Pentacles, this person's established too. They are very established, very stable. They believe in connectivity. They do believe in network resources, a way of life. A whole way of life is attached to that person. They're rooted. Queen of Wands, though, they have a kind of youthful energy, though. Or maybe they just burn bright naturally. I don't know. But there you go. It's lovely. Actually, they're quite stable. And you're attracting, and this is the beauty of it. Because you are asking for what you're asking for from such a beautiful place, you're being met with a beautiful energy and connection there. Okay? Now, you are still learning to leave this behind. Just be aware that which you're dismantling, okay, might occasionally flash some energy at you. It's small. It's something that you can easily ignore. It bothers you a little bit. But you're like, strength of will here, discipline, leave it behind. Ignore it, ignore it, ignore it. Okay. You did what you had to do. That means you said what you had to say. You really want no contact with that. That's going to continue to be a process, though. I don't know why they're showing me that. Every now and again, that which once more you're trying to leave behind with that Six of Swords, it turns up as a blip. But it's a blip, thankfully, you can ignore pretty easily if you want to, okay? You have plenty of discipline and exercise of will attached to you. So typically this would be our healthy passion, the kind that makes us strong. But we often have to discipline it, such as with exercise or activity or something like that. The strength, you have the strength to keep physically leaving that behind, continue to ignore it, continue to turn your back to it. That Page of Wands looks really sad in comparison to the energy you showed that situation. I mean, it looks like a barely perceptible effort on whomever that's coming from. But yeah, it will be easy for you to ignore, but just to let you know, it may happen more than once. That's kind of sad. I think you made yourself very clear. Those are some half-hearted attempts. Not even half a heart, maybe a quarter of a heart. I don't know. Anyway, I'm excited for you. This is connecting, or it will be. Give it a little more time, perhaps by Sagittarius season. Once more, don't confuse me. I'm not saying wait. I'm saying exude those qualities that you're asking for. Patience, consideration, manifestation of the right thing. All right? This kind of quality takes time. So I don't know. Sagittarius season's a guess. I could also say October. Okay? I honestly don't know. I don't know. Let's get some advice, please. Knight of Swords, Nine of Wands, the Queen of Swords. Cold, rejecting, unhappy. That's not you. I just know it's not. It isn't this person either. They're lovely and solid as a rock. They're very familiar with their sexual energy, but they devote it, a lot like you, to the reality. Okay. So they make good use of that fire. Temperate, and they attract from that space too. Okay? Patience, healing, compassion, empathy, and healthy sexual energy. How it should be expressed and what it's for. Whatever that is cold, commanding, shut off. Dismissive before anything has a chance to influence it or impact it. It shuts something down before it has the chance to even consider it. Their sexual energy, to say the least, was cold and too hard to reach. They're quick to cut down with words, not listen, is my point. So here's someone who's prepared to act on what they say is true, their belief, their thoughts, their insights, but not receptive. Not receptive to the points of view of others. Quick to shut down. Cold. Dismissive. It's so cold. That is anti-warmth. Speaking of warmth, Sun. Six of Pentacles, the Fool. Gosh, they're not asking for a lot. You just want some fucking balance. You just want some fucking fairness. I get the feeling whatever this wasn't too fair or considerate or didn't listen very well. That's because this, again, once more, just like your manifestation qualities, you're not asking for a lot. You just want reciprocity in love and in sexuality. And it's kind of like saying, if whoever this is, if they're willing to take a risk, I am too. I am too. Okay? I want to feel happiness too. I want to feel warm and secure too. I want something to be fair, though, and balanced on both sides. So if they're down, I'm down. So whomever that is, it's like just so long as it's fair and I'm part of something that feels like a partnership or equal, I'll consider it. I'll open up to it. You know, you have very modest asks, honey. You do. So I hope you're ready for this. It looks like you are. That looks like they're very generous. Okay. All right. They have a generous nature, it seems, but in quality. Bitterness. Yeah, that's more. It's not you. Resentment, anger, hurtful words. God, they're so cutting with their words. Didn't I say that? Bitterness is so cutful with their words. So angry, so mean. Cutting down to size. I don't like that at all. I mean, nobody would. I'm speaking from a lot of bitterness here. Past the point of breaking. Yeah. The longing past the point of breaking. We're not finding this attractive anymore. Never mind worthy of our commitment. And you're right. Commitments, bare minimum, should be an equal give and take in terms of the basic principles or goals. It just doesn't. It's not just showcasing of sexual energy, of course. So obviously this went well beyond. But there's just so much coldness from them, bitterness too. Hurtful words, cutting down. That's no good. Tankard, celebration, fun, enjoyment, fun. Tankard, the older man. Dealings or relationships with an older man. I had that feeling. Didn't I say that? Didn't I point that out? You have that level of maturity attached to you. This is what I got myself into. I have to get myself out of it. And it takes someone of real strength of will and discipline to see that. And ownership of investment, too. And so some of you have that. Are you the older man? I'm telling you, this person has stability attached to them like they've been working all their life. And that might well be the case. But they still have such a youthful energy. They bring a lot to that table. Anyway, I don't know. That's for some of you. Yeah, you could be that person. You could be that older man. It could be, if it's a reversal, then that's who we're talking about, if this is you. Tankard, but yeah, enjoyment, fun, celebration. It should be easier. It should be easier, more celebratory. It's not just about the seriousness and weight of responsibilities, but we're working hard for something. You should take those moments to celebrate achievements and success, and it just shouldn't be so damn hard. Torch, natural, passionate. Yes, I know. New beginning too. I don't think we need to keep pushing here. Grapes. Someone enjoys their food. Some a bit of a foodie. That's grapes, cups. We enjoy a drink. But no, it's like celebration. And then here we have the indulgence of food. Someone's very sensual. Somebody's love language for somebody might be food. They express themselves through food. But time to go out and have fun, lightness, celebrate, feast, indulge. Frankly, just give yourself some easy times. Okay? Remember, endings should be celebrated as much as beginnings. Don't forget that. Okay. Yeah, but for somebody here, I strongly suspect food is a love language. Okay, I mean, I know what it is for me. Okay, we have the Medallion of Pisces. Gemini, you might have at least very strong placements in your chart. Could be connecting to. Keywords here being intelligent and intuitive. Excellent. Those two should be side by side. Between intelligence and intuition, you got this covered. Okay? We have the Rose of Venus. For some of you, Cancer might be your Venus placement. For others of you, you want your love, your Empress, your Venus. Okay, open to that. Open to the romance. Open to the love. Open to the Rose. HQ, N, C. I forgot what I was doing. C, C, A, and W. Okay, Cancer, honey, I hope this helped you. Well done. Intense, but well done. I really kind of like your attitude. Six of Pentacles can be a really basic cover story, but what you showed me there twice is that so long as it's fair, and it's warm, and it's supportive, and it's loving, and it's kind, I'll take a risk. You will. Again, that tells me what needs weren't being met for you. And it looked like they were pretty basic fucking needs. Okay. I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well.